Hi, everybody. It's Gene Simmons, and you're not, and you're listening to the Potter Than Hell podcast with Steve, BC, BB, and Dylan. But you knew that, didn't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is your last stop on the crazy train of hard rock and heavy metal. So sit back, buckle in, and hang on. Here we go. Come on in, Potter Than Hellions, and welcome back to the Potter Than Hell podcast. I am Dylan, your host this week, and I am joined, as always, by
BB
and
Steve.
And BC is on assignment today. Unfortunately, he has been voted off the island and will not be joining us today. But he is with us in spirit. Maybe we'll get him into the travel council. Who knows?
Okay.
But how's everybody doing this week? BB, how have you been since the last time we recorded?
Doing good. Just, hanging out with the boys, gone back to school. It's kind of quiet down the hill here, but got to spin a lot of vinyl recently, so I'm kind of happy with that. And I think tomorrow my new turntable will be here because I fucked up my old one a little bit, so I'm like, you know what? It's time to upgrade.
There you go.
So
What'd you order?
the same one you have.
Oh, do you?
That direct drive one from Audio Techniques.
You gonna get massive
Audio
cabinets
Technica,
for the speakers, or?
No, you know what? I have like surround sound speakers from like the 90s that are still working, and my receiver is still working. So they're there, but yeah, I'm super excited about that. So that's coming tomorrow. So I may sneak out of work a little early just to take it off the porch.
How
Well, it's cold out there. You don't want to leave it out in the cold.
Yeah, no, that would ruin that for sure. What about you, Dad? How have you been?
All right, I guess. Hanging in there. It's cold out. Winter sucks. I hate it. And, work blows, but that's a whole nother story.
Work sucks, I know.
So, okay.
Yeah, same with me. We were supposed to do a little day trip to Ithaca, but we decided not to because it was just too cold, and we didn't really want to get up early and then have to come back for the podcast. So we just went to Wilkes-Barre and had a good time, Christine and I. But yeah, otherwise nothing new in the Dale. But last week we had on the amazing Brad Rustoven to talk about some of our favorite track twos from the years 1990 to 1998. Is that correct?
Yep. 1990,
Yep. What'd you think of that episode, Dad?
It was fun. Always fun, as always, having Brad on and some cool years. And, it was one of those that, like, I think of all the years when I was going looking for songs, like 1992, I could have filled up the whole list with 1992 for some reason. I don't know if it was just the ones I was looking at hit me right, but it was fun. Like I said, always great having Brad on, and we had the whole crew here. BC got here a little late, but still worked out good, and always fun.
Yeah, BB, you definitely had a good time talking about some bands that we would never be able to talk about on the podcast.
Exactly, right. That's what's the great thing about doing like a playlist or pick twos from a certain year. You can always throw some sneaky ones in there. Troll Steve a little bit, but like talking about Soul Asylum and Screaming Trees and Temple of the Dogs and Pearl Jam, all those early '90s bands. Breck got some great memories, and like I said, it's a really good little episode that you can, just throw something else at besides, the hard rock, heavy metal genre that we're kind of used to and kind of just get off that beaten path a little bit.
Yeah, it gives a little variety, right?
Yeah, it was a good troll. A couple troll picks from Brad and for BB.
Hey, but you had some songs
all right.
that
Some
really
were
enjoyed.
okay. Some were okay. Some not so much.
Like that Temple of the Dog song.
The Tip of the Dog song tore it up.
I think that surprised everybody.
I give it up where it's due. I was like, 12 minutes of Temple of the Dog? How the fuck am I going to do
track
that?
2. 12 minutes
Like,
at track
geez.
2.
Yeah,
That's ambitious.
Yeah, that's something. Well, what are we listening to this week? Anything on the old turntable before you retire at BB?
Well, let's think. I got a couple albums. There's this lady at work. She kind of handed me some albums the other day. So I bought her a Sheets gift card, but she had a couple old Rush albums, a couple old Billy Joel albums, some old Led Zeppelin albums. So I brought them home, gave them a nice little tubby, and I was actually spinning them when I pretty much almost destroyed my old turntable. But Yeah, that's what I've been listening to.
Nice. I've also been listening to Rush. So, small world.
What album?
Exit Stage Left.
Oh, classic.
And what's the one with the owl on it?
Fly By Night.
Fly by Night. Yeah.
Those are good. Dad, how about you? What have you been listening to?
I was today is Monday the 15th of January, and happy Martin Luther King Day to everybody out there. I was actually off from work today, but I had to go in tonight. But I had a little vinyl day yesterday myself. I spun Great White's Once Bitten, Gary Moore's Wild Frontier, Rush for myself as well.
Nice.
I had a little Permanent Waves yesterday. Yesterday was like an anniversary of the release of it, so I threw that on there. Night Ranger 7 Wishes, and I was like, I was in the mood. I threw on Kiss Creatures of the Night, and that's a great one just to bust out every now and then. I played the new half-speed one that they just came out with like last year or the year before. Sounds fantastic on there. So I had a little vinyl adventure yesterday waiting for the football games to come on. So I had a little vinyl day.
Nice. So that's what we've been listening to. All of us have been listening to Rush. We were in the Rush mood. Interesting that we're a trio.
Yeah, right.
That we were all listening to Rush as well, as the bobbleheads look on upon us. Dad has a bunch of albums: Great White's Once Bitten, some Night Ranger 7 Wishes, Kisses Creatures of the Night, and BB's got a nice smorgasbord of Billy Joel, Led Zeppelin, and Rush. Okay, so these two have no idea what we're doing here tonight. I had asked them to send in to me 6 hard rock heavy metal musicians. That's all they know about this episode. They also know that the Moon Man is up for grabs.
Possibly under protest.
But I will also have a chance to win it. So I may get my first Moon Man.
Sounds sketchy.
But do you have any guesses about what it might be? Because I was dropping some hints and I was feeling like you were picking them up, Dad, as we were going to the episode.
I don't know, something that there's going to be like a battle about guys, or there's going to be like some kind of super group something or other.
Okay. BB, any guesses about
It was funny. You know what I was thinking? This could be great for down the road, but there used to. I don't know if there was like an actual like TV game show. They would bring you would just say like Crayola crayons, and you would go pink, blue, green until somebody
password.
couldn't come up with an answer, and and you're like, oh nope, I win that point, because I'm thinking, boy, is he gonna just go through like Rush songs, and we have to see who's gonna get baffled by who can't pick a Rush song, and I was all over the place. I didn't have a clue, but I'm like, boy, that could be down the road.
That's a great idea down the road. Write that down. That's a fantastic idea. So I had asked you to pick 6 people, because 6, 12, 18 people in total. We're going to put those 18 musicians on a plane. We're going to fly them out to the Philippines, and they're going to have to outwit, outplay, and outlast each other in a game of Hotter Than Hell Survivor.
Whoa, boy.
So,
I forget who I picked.
yes, so we have 3 different tribes, each representing each of us. Now, I'm using this awesome website called brantsteel.com that lets you pick a season of Survivor, and you can put in your own people, you can put in stats and everything like that, and it simulates an entire season of Survivor, like how these people would do it. So I decided to pick the Survivor Philippines, a very kind of mid-season episode in maybe the 20s, and it's a season that has 3 tribes, so I wanted each of us to have a tribe. So we have the Podfessor tribe, which is my dad's tribe, and in that tribe we have Adrian Smith from Iron Maiden, Geddy Lee from Rush, Joe Bonamassa from everything but Black Country Communion in our kind of neck of the woods, Ronnie Adkins from Pretty Maids and some solo stuff, Scott Travis from Judas Priest, and then Uncle Ted Nugent. So that's the Podfessor tribe. We have the Killer Bee tribe in blue. So you're the red tribe, Dad. That's why I was very happy with the red Yeti.
And Dylan's got a Survivor hat on,
and I have my Survivor hat on. I was giving you hints. The Killer Bee tribe. We have Billy Sheehan from Mr. Big, Blackie Lawless from Wasp, Eddie Van Halen from Van Halen, John Bonham from Led Zeppelin, Nuno Betancourt from Extreme, and Ronnie James Dio from Black Sabbath and Dio and Rainbow. And then the Keys tribe, represented in yellow, is my tribe. I picked Axl Rose, Dave Grohl, Dave Mustaine, Lars Ulrich, Scott Ian, and Zach Wilde. I was trying to pick some very interesting people so that we could see how they would react.
If he's not Bearded Zach at the beginning, he'll be Bearded Zach by the end.
Yes.
That's true.
So we're going to go through a season of Survivor, see which people of our tribes come out on top, who gets voted out when the tribe has spoken in tribal council, who wins challenges, who becomes a challenge beast, who's a good social person. Now, BB, looking at your tribe, who do you think would have the best chance of winning Survivor from your group?
And once, I would love to say like Blackie Lawless, because he just looks like, he's always like blood covered. He's always killing something. But
You like
for
the raw
some,
meat.
yeah, but for some odd reason, I think Nuno has like what it would take to pull this off.
Okay, well, I will let you know. I had done a previous, what's it called?
Like a practice run.
Run of it, and Nuno won fan favorite. So your tribe did not do well outside of that, but Nuno won fan favorite.
I got that participation trophy.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing up, BB.
Dad, who of your tribe do you think has the most potential to win on Survivor?
Ted. If it's Survivor, like they're thrown on an island or something like that, Ted, he's an outdoorsman. Whether you love him or hate him or whatever, but I think he stands the best chance. Or I would say maybe Adrian Smith, because he's a huge angler, a huge fishing guy.
Okay, yeah, very good points. For me, my team I feel like is going to break down very quickly in terms of egos and people fighting with each other, because you got Axl Rose, who's a bit of a prima donna, probably not going to pull his weight in camp if you think about it. Dave Mustaine, he could be rubbing some wrong way, especially with Lars on the tribe as well. I feel like Scott Ian or Dave Grohl have a good shot in terms of the social aspect. I feel like that they would get along with everybody the most and maybe kind of sneak their way through just to see, if they could make it through without, ruffling some feathers. Because you don't want to be a target, like the challenge beast, the person that's doing the best, because then you're going to get voted out. So you want to kind of be under the radar, sneaking on through. But you also have Zach Wilde, who I feel like has a very good physical potential on there. Okay, everybody. So we're going to go through this. I'm going to read off what happens. I have it pulled up on my phone so that I could also watch the recording, and that doesn't shut off in the middle of it. So there's our tribes. So our first thing. So each tribe has a hidden immunity hidden around their camp. And every episode, there's a potential for one of our members to find the idol. And that idol, of course, can save you if you get voted out. Basically, I can kind of go over what Survivor is for somebody who doesn't know. A bunch of people marooned on an island. They compete in challenges to save themselves from immunity. The ones that lose go to tribal council, and each member of the tribe votes who they want off their tribe. And that basically goes on until the tribes are small enough that they become one tribe. And you'll get to see what the combined tribe name is for all of our groups. And eventually it becomes individual challenges and individual immunity until there's one sole survivor. So the Podfester tribe, nobody has found any idols in the first episode, and there are no alliances currently. It's still early days. Killer Bee tribe, it seems like it's the same situation as it is with the Keys tribe. So the first challenge for the Survivor Hotter Than Hell, it is the Share the Wealth Challenge. 2 tribe members tethered together must run inside the jungle to reach a chest containing paddles. Once the paddles are retrieved, 2 other tribe members must ride a boat and use the paddles to reach a buoy with a crate below. Then the paddlers have to unclip the crate and bring it close enough to shore, where all 6 tribe members would then take the crate to a station, and then 2 tribe members put together a puzzle. So the first 2 pairs to solve the puzzle win immunity for their tribe. So there's going to be one tribe going to tribal council, and there's going to be one tribe that is safe and one that is safe as well. So it seems like my tribe finished first. They win immunity. They win flint and a fire-making kit. Seems like everybody worked well together. Good communication. And it seems like the Podfester tribe also won immunity. So they also won flint. So BB, the Killer Bee tribe is going to Tribal Council.
Oh, man.
Okay, so now, kind of as we're waiting for Tribal Council to happen, it seems like we're getting some events here. So, Dad, the Podfester tribe. Seems like Getty and Joe Bonamassa find something in common, and they have a lasting impact. We might have an alliance there. What do you think of that?
I can see that. Two very prolific musicians, and I think that one Canadian, one American. I think that could kind of help them out somehow too. I think, and actually, because I think Joe Bonamassa's from New York, so they're geographically close with Getty being from I believe the Toronto area. So I think that may be a common bond for them, the kind of geographic area that they live in.
Mm-hmm. And they're also very kind of soft-spoken individuals, not the kind to kind of assert themselves in a situation. So they might kind of enjoy being the wallflowers of the group. And it looks like Joe is also resting at camp to restore his energy, so he's not going to burn himself out. And that is to say, injuries and medevacs are a possibility in this. The fun thing is that this original season, there were 3 members that they had brought back from previous seasons that had to be medevaced earlier. So they like in their first season, like the one guy fell into the campfire.
I remember the one guy fell into the campfire. I was watching it then. Yeah,
he came in.
He fell asleep. He fell right in the fire, face first.
He came in. He came back this season, so it's a very real possibility. We also might get quitters. Zach Wilde was close to quitting in the first round.
Come on, Zach.
Okay,
I ran out of coffee.
Yeah.
The Killer Bee tribe, no events occurring. It seems like everybody's kind of gearing up for Tribal Council.
Okay.
How do you feel tension's going to be mounting in your tribe?
It's tough. I think there's going to be some. It's not going to be smooth waters here for much longer. I think there's going to be a little scuffle in there. I think Blackie and I think Eddie are going to get into it. I don't think they're going to see eye to eye today.
Okay. And then in my tribe, it looks like Axl and Lars have a major fight. Go figure.
Shocking.
Surprise.
How's Dave Mustaine not involved?
Yeah, Dave is sitting quietly.
Well, you know what I was going to say? He started it, and he just took a step back and let those two
He made the snowballs, and those guys are throwing them.
What do you mean Lars isn't doing his work? I see him every time. And it looks like after that fight, Axl and Scott Ian bonded strongly, and we have our first alliance people. Scott Ian and Axl Rose forming an alliance. I don't know how that's going to work out for Scott. Anybody else?
Scott's going to get fucked.
I know. He's going to get backstabbed real quick.
Yeah, I don't know if Scott is using Axl as kind of a shield of sorts to protect himself, kind of going to be able to throw him under the bus if need be. We're going to have to see how that continues. Okay, so we're going into Tribal Council. We have Billy Sheehan, Blackie Lawless, Eddie Van Halen, John Bonham, Nuno Bettencourt, and Ronnie James Dio. All around Tribal Council. Jeff Probst is there, wearing his cargo shorts, his hat, and his shirt, and he's talking with everybody, talking about, how do you think the challenge went? And of course, people are going to be throwing accusations, flying at each other. So, BB, who do you think might get voted out on this? What's your instincts telling you?
For some odd reason, I think Billy Sheehan's gonna be voted off.
Okay.
And I don't know why. I don't know my reasoning, but when we were saying them, I go, I'm going to say, I bet you Billy goes first. Just playing that game in my head.
Yeah.
But since you asked it, I thought Billy was going first.
Okay. Dad, do you have any insights?
I don't know. I want to say I think Dio's going to get the axe for some reason. I think maybe the lack of physicality may be an issue there.
Yeah, and it's early in the competition, so you really want a strong physical tribe to win you immunity challenges. So that's pretty good reasoning, Dad. Okay, so nobody has any immunity idols to play, so we're going right to the vote. The first vote, Nuno. 1 vote, Nuno.
Oh, no.
Billy. That's 1 vote, Nuno. 1 vote, Billy. 4 votes left. Nuno. That's 2 votes, Nuno. 1 vote, Billy. 3 votes left. Billy. That's 2 votes, Billy. 2 votes, Nuno. Tied up. 2 votes left. Nuno. That's 3 votes, Nuno, and 2 votes, Billy. 1 vote left. The first person voted out of Survivor Potter Than Hell is Nuno Bettencourt.
Oh,
Nuno.
Man.
So much for the fan favorite.
Yeah.
The tribe has spoken.
This tribe has spoken. We're going to put out your light now.
Okay, and now we'll get to see who voted for who. So, of course, Billy voted for Nuno.
Right.
Blackie voted for Nuno. John Bannon voted for Nuno, and Dio voted for Nuno.
They're all scared of him.
Yeah. So Eddie and Nuno were the only ones that did not vote for Nuno. So Eddie may have lost a friend with they were the blitzing. They were the guitarists. The crazy guitarists. I don't know. Eddie's gonna be high and dry there.
Yeah, I'm getting a little nervous.
Okay. We got one down for the Killer Bee tribe, but
It's early, right?
It's early.
It's early.
It is early. Okay. So the Podfester tribe, nobody has found any hidden immunities. Same with Killer Bee. And the only alliance currently going right now is Axl Rose and Scotty, and how that happened. I would love to be a fly in the wall for that. Okay. So the immunity challenge for the next episode, Manila Folders. 4 tribe members will be divided into pairs and will alternatively pull a sled to retrieve foldable puzzle pieces. Once all pieces are collected, the last tribe member will act as a caller, instructing his or her tribe mates to form a puzzle. The first 2 tribes to complete the puzzle win the challenge. Now, who do you think would be the best caller in your group? Like the person that's giving the orders to the puzzle pieces?
I think for my guys, I think it's going to be Bonamassa that could give the good directions.
Yeah, I don't think he would be prone to panicking or just like shouting. He would be very concise and like that goes there, that goes there. BB, any ideas?
I think I'm going to go with Mr. Ronnie James Dio. I think he would be perfect at that, being the smaller guy that he was. I think he can direct those guys. I think being somewhat one of the older guys in the group, maybe there's like a little bit of respect.
Yeah.
So we'll use that as a turning point. Since we're down a guy, we'll see what we could do with that.
Yeah, and I think actually that would probably be a good way to show his worth in these challenges.
Sure.
Is being the kind of the director. For me, I feel like Scott Ian would be probably the best because he can be loud, but he can be precise. But I think Axl is going to be like, I want to be the caller. I want to be the shot caller. So I feel like Axl will end up being the shot caller for mine. So let's see. First place in this immunity challenge, the Podfester tribe.
Yeah,
Whoa!
baby.
They win immunity. They also win tarp, blankets, and pillows to help them out around camp. So they're going to be well rested. They're going to be dry.
They got fire, pillows, blankets. Jesus.
Yeah, it's gonna be looking good, and that's something that that we really ought to think about because BB's tribe doesn't have any flint at this moment.
I got nothing.
They're using sticks and rocks to light their fires, so they really need to get a challenge in here to make sure that they get something.
Shared bodily warmth.
But don't worry, BB. The Killer Bee tribe also wins immunity, and they get a tarp, so you'll be dry.
All right.
So the Keys tribe is going to tribal council. Okay, that's going to be fun. Okay, so the Podfester tie. Dad. Getty and Joe had a small fight. It has a lasting impact. So
there goes my
there goes your possibility of an alliance. I don't know what happened. What do you think happened? Maybe something in the challenge.
I don't know. Maybe they were arguing over. I think they were arguing over beer. Whose beer was better, Canadian beer or American beer?
Yeah,
that
loves.
And they were arguing also about what is it called with the fries with the cheese curds and the gravy and
oh my
poutine.
God.
Poutine.
Yeah.
Poutine.
I think they were arguing about poutine as well.
Okay.
Poutine over hot wings.
Yeah, I mean you're on the island. You're only eating like rice and whatever you could hunt. And you start thinking about.
I can
food
go
back
for some
home.
poutine. Oh no, that sucks. I'd rather have wings. So I think that could be involved as well.
Yeah, I think you have something there. Okay, the Killer Bee tribe. No immunity idol yet found, but Billy Sheehan and Blackie Lawless bond slightly.
All right.
So Billy's
unlikely alliance.
Billy's looking for friends after getting some votes, trying to shore up his relationship in the tribe. What do you think of that?
I think since he was a couple people voted from before, I think he's just trying to get in the good graces of everybody, and he's just going to go down the list. And Blackie was the first one on the list, and we're going to try to smooth this over, and he's going to show his worth in the next episode, I bet you.
Okay. And then on my tribe, Axl and Lars are bonding slightly, so Axl's making more friends than I thought he was gonna.
Yeah, right?
He's playing some kind of game. Uh-oh, Dave Grohl has a major meltdown. He's pissed about going to Tribal Council, losing. It's like, come on, guys, we were on top. We won the first challenge.
He's complaining about the lasagna.
Yeah. I made lasagna. Okay, we're going to Tribal Council. At this point, I thought that Axl was going to be a first out on my group, but it seems like he's ingratiating himself with a lot of people, so he might be pulling some strings to get out like Dave, because, it's never good to have a meltdown right before Tribal Council, because that kind of shows you're a prima donna. You can't hack it with us. So I'm very concerned for Dave Grohl. Anybody else have any insights into my group?
No, I think you may have something. I think Axl's trying to get in good with different little like get his own little factions going, and maybe conniving to maybe he's pulling a little Boston Rob there.
Yeah, Axl is Boston Rob.
Yep. So there may be a little Boston Rob going on there.
I think you might be onto something. Axl is like the big villain for the season, but like doing the string pulling in such a good way. BB, any insights?
I'm surprised Zach is being so quiet.
Yeah, he's keeping in the background.
He's just keeping a low profile.
He's just letting it all go. So.
But I think that's a good thing to do because it's not painting a target on your back.
Too early to be making any big moves.
Yeah. Axl's making all the big moves. Let him put himself out there and see what happens. Okay, so here we go. Tribal Council for the Keys Tribe. It's time to vote. No hidden immunity idols to play. The first vote, Dave Mustaine. So that's one vote for Mustaine. Uh-oh. Second vote, Zach Wild.
Uh-oh.
That's one for Mustaine and one for Wild. 4 votes left. Mustaine. That's 2 votes Mustaine and 1 vote Zach. Mustaine. That's 3 votes Mustaine, 1 vote Zach. 2 votes left.
Dave Mustaine is sweating bullets.
The second person voted out of Survivor, Hotter Than Hell. Dave Mustaine.
Ooh.
The tribe has spoken.
The tribe has spoken. 5 votes Mustaine and 1 vote Zach. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. Dave ruffled too many feathers. What do you mean you're voting me out? Yeah,
the tribe has spoken. Get the fuck out of here.
Dave Mustaine is gone. There can only be one Dave on my tribe, and it's Dave Grohl.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Dave Mustaine was the only one that voted for Zach Wild. Everybody else, a unanimous
Zach's
vote.
a little pissed off. He's gonna kick his ass.
Fuck Dave Mustaine.
Yeah.
Fuck who else? Megadeth.
Him and Fred Durst could go fuck themselves.
Okay, so the Killer Bee Tribe and the Keys Tribe are both the member down. The Podfester Tribe standing strong.
We're hanging in there. I don't see it lasting much longer,
No,
but
especially with Getty and Joe on the outs.
yeah, but they may make up though. They may scoop a little poutine with a wing or something.
Yep. Looks like no changes in the advantages or alliances. Axl and Scott still going strong. Axl apparently being the Boston Rob. Okay, here we go. The immunity challenge for this episode, Deep in Thought. On a floating platform, tribe members, one by one, must dive down and retrieve 8 wheel-shaped puzzle pieces that are clipped underwater. Once all are collected, they must identify the mystery 8-letter word, which is treasure. First 2 tribes to finish wins reward and immunity. So how do you think your tribe would do in this one? It's a lot of swimming. Do we have strong swimmers in your group?
I don't know. My guys are kind of old. Now that I look at my group here, so I don't know. Maybe Adrian Smith would be a good swimmer. He's a like I said, he's a fisherman. Joe Bonamassa seems like he's in good shape. Ted's always in good shape. I think Scott Travis is going to be a little a good one on this one. He's long and lanky. I think he can. Scott Travis could be the hero of this challenge.
Mm-hmm. BB, how about you?
See, Nuno will be perfect for this. It seems like he's a perfect swimmer, but I'm going to go with the strong arms of Mr. John Bonham.
John Bonham,
I think him beating on those skins all day long, I think he has some good upper body strength, real skinny guy. I think he can get in there, get deep, get those puzzle pieces, and zip
Good thing
out
you
of
didn't
there.
pick Leslie West. Or John Oliva.
I was gonna say Rick.
Mike Reno?
No, the guy from Def Leppard, Allen.
Rick Allen.
Rick
Rick
Allen. Sorry.
I feel like I got a lot of singers, so I think the lung capacity is pretty good on mine.
Lung power.
Yeah, like that. You gotta being able to stay under long. You gotta factor that in. And turns out the Keys tribe comes in first, wins immunity. They also win fishing gear and a canoe, so Adrian misses out on the fishing rod.
Those bastards.
And in second place, the Killer Bee tribe.
Oof.
So they get fishing gear as well.
Hey!
Adrian is pissed.
See, I told you.
Oh,
Adrian
man.
is so mad. He saw
told
that
you,
fishing gear.
I told you it couldn't last.
He was talking about how many fish he could catch while the challenge was going on. And everybody was like, shut up. We're going to lose on purpose. Okay. So the Podfester tribe reeling from the loss. It seems like there is some reconciliation happening. But it's Getty and Uncle Ted finding something in common. What the hell do you think they find in common, Dad?
Maybe moose hunting, maybe?
Moose hunting, okay.
Who knows? I'm sure that at some point in the 70s they've toured, they played together. I want to say, I think they did, thinking back to Getty's book. And, and they're like around the same age, so I think they would have some common ground there a little bit.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's good to get friends, especially going into tribal council. You gotta try and find some common ground to get people to not vote for you. Okay, BB.
Uh-oh.
Your hidden immunity idol has been found.
Yes!
It's been found by Dio.
All right!
Now has the hidden immunity idol for the Killer Bee tribe. How do you think Dio found it? What do you picture that being?
You know what? He was probably just off on his own, just looking at the Philippinian hills
He
side.
found it on the Silver Mountain.
He was
on the
looking
island.
at this Silver Mountain
The Silver Mountain.
while he was looking for the Children of the Cross, and he found this beautiful and piece of whatever we have this.
Yeah.
It's probably like the tiki from the Brady
The
Bunch.
Phil-
Oh yeah.
Philippine tiki.
Well, that's a bad luck tiki.
I know. Well, that's what I'm hoping.
You're hoping Dio misuses the hidden immunity idol. Okay, we also have some events. We get Blackie Lawless and John Bonham finding something in common. What do you think that is?
Hey, jeez.
Well,
That's-
Wasp does do a version of When the Levee Breaks
okay.
as a
He
like
was
a bonus track.
honored by the inclusion of the
Sure.
song because that's a very John-driven song.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I could see that. However, it seems like somebody is not liking John Bonham finding something in common with Blackie Lawless because Billy Sheehan has a major fight with John Bonham.
Oh boy.
Ooh, there goes the rhythm section.
Yeah.
I think John might be like, Billy, you're doing too much. You need to know your role as the bassist to pare it back a bit. And Billy's not having that. Okay, so we have on my tribe, Lars and Scott Ian bonding strongly. That makes sense. Scott, Scott's a friendly guy. Now that Dave Mustaine's gone, Lars can be a little more social with everybody. It's like, hey man,
There's always been an Anthrax Metallica connection.
Yep. It has a lasting impact too, so we might get another alliance. Scott Ian forming the alliances. I told you, he's the friendly guy. He's the one getting out there. Okay, so we're going into tribal council for the Podfester tribe. Dad, how you feeling? What do you think's going to happen?
I don't know. Anything could happen here. I was kind of hoping we would win this latest challenge, but
Podfester's strong.
We'll see. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. So no eligible hidden immunity idols. Nobody has found anything yet. So we got our first vote, Getty Lee. That's one vote, Getty. Second vote, Ronnie Adkins. First time we're hearing from Ronnie.
Yeah, say Ron. Hey.
Keeping
I didn't
quiet.
look up the text and see who else I picked.
So that's one vote Getty and one vote Ronnie Adkins. 4 votes left. Third vote, Getty. That's 2 votes Getty, 1 vote Ronnie. Ronnie Adkins, 2-2. 2 votes left. Getty. That's 3 votes Getty, 2 votes Ronnie, 1 vote left. Ronnie. Final vote is 3 votes Getty, 3 votes Ronnie. So now what happens is it's a tie and a revote. Those that were involved in the tie, so Ronnie and Getty, they will not vote because obviously they would vote against each other. So now everybody's going to revote, recast their votes, and we'll see who comes out. Dad, how you feeling right now? Are these
I don't know.
the 2 that you wanted?
I don't know. Well, I don't want anybody on there. Truthfully, I don't know. If I had to vote, I would vote Ronnie off only because he's stage 4 lung cancer, and I think he needs a little. I don't know if he's up to the physicality of the rest of the thing.
Yeah, Dad's giving the talking head of I don't know if Ronnie can hack it. Okay, here's the revote. First vote, Getty. Second vote, Ronnie. So that's 1 vote Getty, 1 vote Ronnie, 2 votes left. Ronnie. That's 2 votes Ronnie, 1 vote Getty, 1 vote left. The third person voted out of Survivor Hotter Than Hell, Ronnie Atkins. Ronnie, the tribe has spoken. Ronnie Atkins is gone, Dad.
Sorry, Ronnie.
Yeah, it went the way you thought it would.
Give Ken Hammer a call when you get back to the mainland and get some pretty made shit going.
Yep. Okay, so it looks like Adrian had originally voted for Getty, but he changed his vote to Ronnie in the second.
Really?
The second vote. So that's interesting.
Wow.
I think he was maybe thinking along the lines of you, Dad.
He could have been.
Getty, of course, voted for Ronnie. Joe stuck his vote for Getty both times, so Joe's really still pissed at Getty over that poutine argument. He wanted him out.
Come on, guys, make up.
It looks like Scott Travis and Uncle Ted voted for Ronnie both times. So they were the ones that were staying the course. It looks like Adrian was the swing vote.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I'm very surprised by that. I knew Uncle Ted was going to stick to his guns. He's somebody that you cannot convince to do anything he does not want to do. Stubborn old mule.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so we're all on equal footings. 5 members apiece. This is a lot better than it was in the first round because BB had like 3 members left. And they had to dissolve BB's tribe.
Oh, really?
Split them up
split
into
them up?
everybody's. So, BB, you're doing a lot better this round of Part of the Hell Survivor. Dad, guess what? The Podfester Hidden Immunity Idol has been found.
Yes.
And it's been found by Scott Travis. What do you think of that?
Scott found it.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah?
Good, yeah. So, there's only one, though, right?
There's only one
only
per
one.
each tribe, yeah.
Okay.
So, BB's has been found and yours has been
Okay,
found.
yeah. Good.
Yeah.
I mean,
You want all of them to win.
I want all of them to
They're all
find.
winners.
Can't one of ours find yours?
If mine isn't found by the time the tribes merge, that could very well happen.
Oh, really?
So, we'll have to see. BB, of course, Dio still has the Hidden Immunity Idol. Well, Dad, your dreams have been dashed. But it's a good day for Scots because Scott Ian found the Hidden Immunity Idol for the keys. The Scott.
I see where this
duo.
episode's going.
Scott thing.
I like to think that Scott was just like walking through the woods, thinking about how many friends he's making, stumbles upon the idol.
Just tripped right over it.
Yep, and he's in an alliance with Axl, so I'm wondering if he's going to tell Axl about the immunity idol. I wonder if that'll happen. He might, but he might not. So
You never know.
and he could play it for somebody else. So if he sees Axl in trouble and he wants to keep him as a teammate, he might put that idol on him. But we'll have to see going forward. Okay, the immunity challenge for this episode: swing break. Tribe members would transport clay pots using a yoke. Then they would carry the yoke to a muddy course and bamboo obstacles. So I think it's like a pole, like with the thing on there, and they have to transport it like that. And set the 2 pots on pedestals. The player would then go back to the starting mat, crawling under the bamboo obstacle. Once all pots have been set, one tribe member must swing a wrecking ball, attempting to smash the pods. The first 2 players to smash all their pots would win the challenge for their respective tribes. So, what are we thinking in terms of how we're going to do this one? It seems like there's a lot of hand-eye coordination with swinging the wrecking ball.
I think my team's gonna be good. I mean, Ted, prolific bow hunter. I think they'll do good.
it?
I think they'll do good.
We got Ted.
I don't know.
That's it.
Joe Bonamassa. I think he's been kind of flying under the radar. Adrian Smith, Scott Travis, and Getty left. I think we got a good group here. I think we'll be good.
Okay, BB.
I think Billy Sheehan and Eddie Van Halen will be the best candidates for this task. I think both of them quick fingers.
Yeah, they both worked with David Lee Roth, who has been known to swing on things.
That's right. See, that is true. So hey, I hopefully those guys can do a little bonding here and work to win this one.
Yeah, I think Zach might come in handy here with just the sheer force of power. He could get it going quick and can kind of get a rhythm going with it. I feel like Zach Wild might take the day here. The Keys tribe wins immunity. They're the first to finish. They win steaks, vegetables, and spices. Uncle Ted's going to be pissed. He's missing out on that. And the Killer Bee tribe wins immunity, so it looks like the Podfester tribe
Again,
is
see that?
going to tribal council again. You win vegetables and spices, BB, so
fantastic.
you'll be eating something. Okay, so we have, of course, Scott Travis still having the hidden immunity idol, so he might be safe this round. And it looks like you have your first alliance, Dad. Geddy Lee, Scott Travis, and Ted Nugent. So Geddy and Ted brought Scott in. I don't know if Scott told them about the idol. But you have a 3-person alliance. That's a pretty good number in this.
That's a good
this stretch of the game. That's a
safety
majority.
in numbers. Safety in numbers.
That's a majority. So they could vote out the other two if they want to. What do you think about that?
It's a strong alliance. It's we'll see how the vote goes here.
Yeah. What I find interesting is that they give like a number of like how loyal each person is to the alliance. So Geddy is the most loyal. He's like 7 out of 10 loyalty. Scott is 6 out of 10, and Ted's only at 5 out of 10. He's kind of hedging his bets a little bit.
Can go either way.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what happens. Dio, of course, still has the hidden immunity idol. Scott has it for me. It looks like we have some events happening in the Keys tribe. Dave Grohl and Zach Wilde have a small fight.
Ooh.
Dave is not making friends like I thought he would.
Dave's going to get his ass kicked.
Dave's kind of being a little bit of a diva. I don't know what's going on here. And it looks like Axl and Dave also have a minor disagreement.
Uh-oh.
And
you're going to be Daveless.
Yeah. And Axl apparently is working hard at camp and has become tired. So Axl's pulling the wool over everybody.
Yeah,
he's not the Axl waiting 3 hours before starting the show. He's a new man.
The new Axl.
But Dave seems to have caught some of the lead singeritis from Axl. Seems like he's not doing well in camp. I don't know how long he's going to last. We'll have to see. Okay, Dad. Here's a tribal council. Your guys are up for tribal council. How do you think it's panning out? You got Scott, Geddy, and Ted in an alliance.
Yeah, Adrian or Joe Bonamassa could be hitting the beaten path.
Yeah, Geddy could have a target on his back from Joe.
He could, but if he's in that alliance,
Yeah. So
let's see what happens.
Yep. Scott has the hidden immunity idol. He does not play it. Smart. You just got it. You don't want to play it right away. First vote, Joe Bonamassa. That's 1 vote for Joe Bonamassa. Second vote, Joe Bonamassa.
Uh-oh.
That's 2 for Joe Bonamassa. Third vote, Adrian Smith. That's 2 votes Joe, 1 vote Adrian, 2 votes left. The 4th person voted out of Survivor, Hotter Than Hell, Joe Bonamassa.
Now you know who voted for Adrian Smith. It was Joe Bonamassa.
Sorry, Joe.
Joe, the tribe has spoken.
Uh-oh. They're going to be merging before anybody here.
Yeah, it seems like Geddy swung everybody to vote for Joe after that disagreement.
Poutine wins.
Poutine wins the argument.
Poutines and Moosehead wins.
That's insane. Okay. Looks like Dad's tribe is down to 4 members. BB, we still have 5. Okay, we have a...
I like your test one better.
Yeah. Okay, we have a twist now. All the tribes have gathered. The tribe with the fewest remaining members will be dissolved. Because they are down to just 4 members, the Podfester tribe will be dissolved. So your members are going to be randomly distributed between the Killer Bee tribe and the Keys tribe. So let's see where everybody goes. So Adrian, Geddy, and Scott have got... Oh, wait a second. This is a full mix-up. Everybody got mixed up. So...
Oh boy.
Wow, this is interesting. Okay, so the Killer Bee tribe, the people that have stuck around from the Killer Bee tribe are Blackie Lawless and John Bonham, so they're going to be the ones that are showing everybody around the camp. The people from the Podfester tribe that came in were Adrian Smith, Geddy Lee, and Scott Travis. And then from my tribe into the Killer Bee tribe, Lars and Dave Grohl. So they're getting the prima donna. So that's interesting. And then the Keys tribe, Axl, Scott Ian, and Zach Wilde have stayed on the Keys tribe. Uncle Ted is the lone member from the Podfester tribe over onto the Keys tribe. And Billy Sheehan, Eddie Van Halen, and Ronnie James Dio are now on the Keys tribe.
Damn, I lost all my top picks. Woo.
Yeah. So that's crazy. So the Killer Bee tribe currently has 2 idols in their tribe. Because you have...
the Scots.
You have Scott... No, sorry. No, that's not true. The Keys tribe has 2 Bs. You have Dio and Scott Ian.
So
Okay.
only Scott Travis has it in the Killer Bees tribe.
Yes. So that is very interesting. So let's see what happens here. So, and it looks like, Dad, unfortunately, your strong majority tribe has kind of dissolved because Uncle Ted is on the other tribe now. But Getty and Scott still going together. So there's still a chance that they could team up to save themselves. Yep, so it looks like the alliance with Axl and Scott is still going strong. They're still sticking together. Okay, so now we have the reward challenge. So this is a challenge for rewards. This is not an immunity challenge. So they'll get something for this, and the loser will not go to tribal council. So one member from both tribes will be hold a handled pedestal with an idol on top. The goal is to knock the other person's idol from their pedestal. So it's basically like you're in a ring with each other, and like you have to like knock each other's pedestal off. And it looks like the Killer Bee tribe wins reward. So Adrian, Blackie, Dave Grohl, Getty, John Bonham, Lars, and Scott Travis win biscuits, cookies, coffee, and tea. So high tea with Blackie Lawless.
With their pinkies out, right?
That's right.
Okay, so now the immunity challenge. Thrash, splash, and bash. Tribes must race to a steep hill and remove knots from a drawbridge. Once the drawbridge opens, one member must chop through a piece of wood using an axe, releasing dozens of bamboo cylinders. Tribe members must retrieve the bamboo cylinders with letters written on them. 2 other members must identify a mystery phrase. The first tribe to spell out "live to play another day" wins immunity. So I don't know if anybody has a distinct advantage in this one. It's kind of a weird one. So it's really anybody's game. But it looks like because they won the reward challenge and their stomachs are full of tea and biscuits and cookies, the Killer Bee tribe has won immunity. So Adrian, Blackie, Dave Grohl, Getty Lee, John Bonham, Lars Ulrich, and Scott Travis are not going to tribal council. Uncle Ted has left the alliance, Dad, because he's no longer on the team with them.
Right.
So it's Scott and Getty in the alliance. But it looks like the Killer Bees have formed another alliance. Scott and Getty have brought in Adrian Smith and Dave Grohl into their alliance. So it is an alliance of 3 Podfester strong with one of the old Keys members. How do you feel about that, Dad? You kind of have a good strength in numbers on the Killer Bee tribe.
Yeah, it looks like we're integrating pretty good into the Killer Bees tribe there.
Yeah.
Seems like things are happening. Things are moving.
Yeah, Uncle Ted's off on his own, and we're just letting him be. We're sticking with the BB. It seems like this kind of majority alliance against the Killer Bees might be popping up. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I'm looking at my list, and I'm like, man, oh man, I only have 2 original guys on my list here, but we're gonna do anything to win here, Dylan. It's all about winning. Just win, baby, win. That's all we're doing here. And if we want to start putting immunities down, we're gonna take it.
Yep. Okay. And it looks like Adrian works hard at camp and becomes tired. Adrian's trying to prove himself. He has fishing gear now that he could use, and he's been fishing up a storm trying to get a good feast for his new teammates. Okay, so over on the Keys tribe, we have Dio and Scotty in, of course, with the immunity aisles. We have Eddie Van Halen and Uncle Ted having a minor disagreement.
Ooh, I can see that happening.
So it's going to have a lasting impact. We'll see how that factors in going into tribal council. Zach Wilde is impressing the rest of the team. So he's becoming a workhorse in camp, lifting up all the wood with his massive
He's turning into bearded Zach. That's what it is.
The beard's starting to grow.
Yeah, look out.
And it seems like Uncle Ted and Zach have bonded slightly. And I think Uncle Ted's excited to have another outdoorsman kind of on the team. Somebody to pull the weight that he seemingly has been pulling on the Podfester tribe. What do you think of that duo, Dad?
I like it. I think it's good. You got the brawn of Zach, and you got the guile of Ted. I like it.
Okay.
I'll kill him, you grill him.
Yeah, That's you go. Exactly. Okay, so the Keys tribe going into tribal council. We have Axl Rose, Billy Sheehan, Eddie Van Halen, Ronnie James Dio, Scott Ian, Ted Nugent, and Zach Wilde. We have 2 immunity idols that could be in play here.
Can you give me that team one more time?
Sure.
To make sure I have everybody.
Yeah, Axl Rose, Billy Sheehan, Eddie Van Halen, Ronnie James Dio, Scott Ian, Ted Nugent, and Zach Wilde.
Okay.
Cool. So we have 2 immunity idols that could be in play here. Dio and Scott Ian. Let's see if they play them. Dio has used his hidden immunity idol, and he uses it on Zach Wilde. Any votes cast against Zach Wilde will not count.
Whoa.
Wow.
So Dio's trying to save Zach. That's a surprise. Did anybody see that coming?
No.
It's that Black Sabbath's connection, you know?
There you go.
It's like, yeah, hey, we're in this together, brother. Dio knows he's small. He knows that he needs all the friends he can get. He's befriended the big man. So here are the votes. First vote, Uncle Ted.
Uh-oh.
That's
boy.
1 vote for Uncle Ted. Second vote, Billy Sheehan. 1 vote Billy. 1 vote Uncle Ted. Billy. That's 2 votes Billy. 1 vote Uncle Ted. 4 votes left. I think Dio may have misplayed his idol here. Billy. That's 3 votes Billy. 1 vote Uncle Ted. 3 votes left. Uncle Ted. 3 votes Billy. 2 votes Uncle Ted. 2 votes left. The 5th person voted out of Survivor Hotter Than Hell. Billy Sheehan. So 5 votes Billy, 2 votes Uncle Ted. Billy, the tribe has spoken. And not only that, BB, Dio misplayed the idol. He wasted it on Zach Wilde. How do you feel about that?
So is that idol out of play now?
That idol
That
is
is
out
gone
of play.
now.
It is
Oh, okay.
gone.
Okay, so Zach can't use it
You know,
for
and
himself.
I'm wondering why Dio was so worried about Zach. He was almost turning into the workhorse of the tribe.
Yeah,
you know,
I
but
don't know.
And I can see why they let Billy Sheehan go. He's got Mr. Big concerts to freaking play.
He's
true.
got some dates to
he's
make.
out there in Texas now. He's got to get out there.
He was telling them, yeah, guys, I got a lot of I hope I get out early. I got a lot of shows booked. I can't miss them. They're like, okay, fine, we'll get you out.
Yeah.
Okay, so it seems like the only person that voted for Uncle Ted, of course, is Billy Sheehan. Except Zach Wilde, who also voted for Uncle Ted. Interesting. I think that might come into play. And that's interesting because they just bonded.
They just bonded too, right?
I know.
So
What's up with that?
I think Zach is going for
something happened.
the Caesar effect there, stabbing him in the back.
That too, Zach.
I don't know how that's going to play out going forward. That's not a great position to be in. Okay, episode 6. This will be the second to last episode before we go to break. We'll break after episode 7 since there are 14 episodes. Okay, Killer Bee Tribe is looking like Adrian Smith, Blackie Lawless, Dave Grohl, Geddy Lee, John Bonham, Lars Ulrich, and Scott Travis. And then the Keys Tribe with 6 members, Axl Rose, Eddie Van Halen, Ronnie James Dio, Scott Ian, Ted Nugent, and Zach Wilde. Okay, so we still have Scott Travis having the hidden immunity idol. He's still got his strong core alliance with Geddy going, but he also still has the alliance with Dave and Adrian. So it seems like it's like they're loyal to each other, and then the other two, you know, they're loyal to them to a fault. But if it comes down to them against, you know, one of the other ones, they're gonna. You know.
All right. So all right. The Killer Bees is what team?
The Killer Bees is the team with Adrian, Dave,
Like Blackie Lawless, John Bonham, Adrian Smith, Geddy Lee, Scott Travis, Lars, and Dave Grohl.
Okay, I was just missing John Bonham.
Yeah.
So that's the Killer Bees.
Yep, and then the Keys Tribe
So the
should
Keys.
have.
So that was your one that got voted out.
Yeah, should have
Oh,
6.
okay.
It's 6 to 7 currently.
So don't be so upset about Billy Sheehan, BB. He was on his team.
That's true.
Well,
But he's originally on mine.
yeah, the way that I'm seeing it is like whoever's
You have your
guy.
loyalty. You have your loyalty.
Yeah, whoever's guy gets picked, like who wins.
Whoever
wins.
guy gets
Right.
picked gets the guy.
Our tribes are
Well,
going to
that's
be
true.
dissolved
Okay.
once the merge happens.
That's true.
Yeah, so Scott Ian still has his immunity idol, and he still has his loyalty to Axl Rose. Axl is sitting pretty. Okay, the immunity challenge. Apparently there was no immunity challenge listed, but the Killer Bee Tribe wins immunity.
All right, hey,
So there we go.
participation win. Thank you.
Jeff was like, I don't have anything planned for you guys.
Just
eeny,
have
meeny,
free day.
miny, mo.
Yeah.
So Adrian, Blackie, Dave, Geddy, John Bonham, Lars Ulrich, and Scott Travis are immune.
Maybe they did rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. Who do you think would be the lead person for rock, paper, scissors on the Killer Bee Tribe?
I think Blackie.
Yeah, in the picture that I picked for him, he has his hands. He's showing
See?
his hands, so yeah, that could very well be. Okay, so some events that happened on the Killer Bee Tribe. Blackie Lawless and Lars bonded slightly. Lars is impressed that Blackie's so good at playing rock, paper, scissors. Adrian and John Bonham find something in common. What do you think that could have been?
They're both English.
Oh, yep, that's true. Yeah. Are they I think they're the only Englishmen on the team. So thinking about jolly old England for Queen and Country.
Yep.
The two of them bonding over the tea that they won, the tea and biscuits.
Tea and crimpets with their pinkies
right.
out.
Though, it seems like John Bonham has snaked Adrian away from the Alliance, Dad. So the Alliance is now Dave, Getty, and Scott, and there's another Alliance in play that John has snaked Adrian into. It's Adrian, Blackie, John Bonham, and Lars Ulrich.
Wow. Scott Travis and Getty on the outside looking in there.
Yeah, that's a Killer Bee strong alliance, BB.
Yeah.
With two of your members in there. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I'm starting to like this little alliance. But they left Dave Grohl kind of high and dry. I'm
Lars has no loyalty to him, and I can understand why.
Dave Grohl's been getting no traction.
Dave's been a prima donna. He's had the breakdown. He's been arguing with people. I wouldn't want to be in an alliance with him either at this point. Okay, so the Keys tribe. Scotty Ian still has the hidden immunity idol. Eddie Van Halen and Dio find something in common. Maybe Dio was feeling down about misplaying the idol, and Eddie's like, "Hey, don't worry about it, man. It happens to all of us."
Yeah, back in the day when they were playing clubs, they were doing Man on the Silver Mountain.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Eddie's talking about how much of an influence he is.
Yeah, could be.
Looks like Scotty and Uncle Ted are bonding slightly. Scott, again, making friends everywhere he can go.
They were in Democracy together.
Yep, they were. They were on Supergroup.
Yep.
And without Sebastian Bach there to mix things up, they can be very friendly with each other, reuniting. And it looks like Axl is resting at camp to restore his energy. So Axl's saving himself for tribal council.
This is 2 episodes in a row he's resting.
Yeah.
People are not going to like this.
Yeah, I think that might go against
them. They might be watching him. They're watching him. Look at this lazy bastard.
Okay, so we're going into tribal council for the Keys tribe. Axl, Eddie, Ronnie, Scotty, and Ted, and Zach up for elimination in tribal council. Scotty Ian still has his hidden immunity idol. He's keeping it close to the vest. Let's see if he uses it this time. He uses it for himself. So Scott's not feeling confident that votes will...
Scott Ian is safe.
So let's see if he misused it. First vote, Eddie Van Halen.
Oh, no.
Second vote, Eddie Van Halen.
Uh-oh.
That's 2 votes, Eddie Van Halen. Third vote, Ronnie James Dio.
All right. What the hell here?
So it looks like both idol plays have been god-awful.
Terrible. Hope Scott Travis is a little better.
Scott maybe has a little bit more of a right mind for that. Okay, the next vote, Dio. That's 2-2.
Uh-oh.
Dio and Eddie. 2 votes left. Third vote for Dio. 3 votes Dio. 2 votes Eddie. 1 vote left. The 6th person voted out of Survivor Hotter Than Hell. Ronnie James Dio.
Dude, a horrible idol play.
Dio, the tribe has spoken. He played it one episode too early.
Yep.
Well,
Too nice of a guy. Nice of a guy.
He gave it away.
Come on, man.
It looks like the only 2 people that voted for Eddie Van Halen were Dio and Zach Wilde. So Zach's
got his bullseye.
He's
got the bullseye Gibson on his back now.
Yep, that's not a good position for Zach Wilde. I don't know how much longer he's going to last there. Okay, going into episode 7, the last episode before the break, the Killer Bee tribe is sitting strong at 7 with Adrian, Blackie, Dave Grohl, Geddy Lee, John Bonham, Lars Ulrich, and Scott Travis, and the Keys tribe just at 5 apiece with Axl, EVH, Scott Ian, Uncle Ted, and Zach Wilde. Okay, so the Killer Bee tribe. Currently, we have a lot of alliances going on in the Killer Bee tribe. We have the alliance that's been going strong since the days of the Podfessor tribe. Geddy and Scott Travis. They've been really palling around with each other. It looks like Dave Grohl is in with that alliance as well, but he has a lesser loyalty than the rest of them. He's only 5.
He's on the outs, yeah.
And then the other alliance, which is the majority alliance currently, is Adrian, Blackie, John Bonham, and Lars Ulrich. And that's a pretty strong alliance currently going. So I think they could sway the vote if they end up going to tribal council. And then for the Keys tribe, Scott Ian has played the only idol that they had. And oh my God, this is a strong loyalty between Axl Rose and Scott Ian. These guys are ride or die for each other. Okay, so now the reward challenge. the bog roll. The rival tribes must wrestle each other for a boulder-sized rattan ball and must bring it to their tribe's goal. First tribe to 3 wins the challenge. So, Ted and Zach are going to be really good at the wrestling part, I think. Do you think anybody could beat them on the other tribe?
I would say maybe Blackie, because I think he'd fight dirty.
Okay, yeah.
I think he'd fight
Get
dirty.
down, get down to the box.
I think Dave Grohl would be a scrapper too.
Okay,
because he's on the outs and he's been in prima donna, so he
wants
may
to show
just
himself.
be full of fucking rage.
Yeah. BB, any insight?
Yeah, I think John Bonham is going to show something here. I think he's the old scrapper from way back. I think he can pull this one off.
Nice. Well, it looks like the Keys tribe wins reward. So Uncle Ted and Zach came out on top.
They kicked ass.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the immunity challenge. Philipping out. One member from both tribes will use slingshots to send balls towards their tribe mates, all of whom are holding nets. The goal is to catch at least one ball, regardless if it's their tribe's ball or the other tribe's. First tribe to 5 wins immunity. This is a cool challenge, too.
What was the reward on the last one?
So, I didn't say.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to say food.
Okay.
It's usually food, and 9 times out of 10.
A little alcohol this time, ready?
Yeah.
A little alcohol.
Yeah, Ted wouldn't drink any. Zach's not going to drink it either.
A trip to Outback Steakhouse. Which, weirdly, there has been trips to Outback, like an Outback Steakhouse they set up on
really?
the island. Yeah.
That's
it's
cool.
really weird, but, I mean, hey, I would love a steak when I was on an island.
We could get a blooming onion.
Yeah, so this one, I think Uncle Ted might have some advantage there because there's some slingshotting and some target practice here. Plus, you have to have some pretty spry people in the field running around catching the ball. What do you think of this one, BB?
I don't know. I think Lars is going to be the catcher. I think Lars and Scott Travis. I think being the drummers. I think they got the fast arms.
Plus, Scott's got the reach.
Yeah,
he's tall. He could.
It's almost like lacrosse.
Yeah, exactly. Dad, any insights?
Yeah, like you said, I think Ted would be a good one for the slingshot for sure. And I don't know. I think Adrian Smith is going to shine a little bit in this one too for some reason. He's going to be like a little sneaky good on this one.
Plus, you have Zach. He can body people out of the way.
Yeah.
Just check.
Yeah.
If Dio was still on the other.
Boom! He'd go flying.
Okay, it looks like the Keys tribe wins immunity. So Uncle Ted with the dead eye. Okay, the Killer Bee tribe. Scott Travis still has the idol. Dave Grohl and Geddy Lee have bonded strongly. Dave is starting to see the error of his ways, maybe?
Could be.
Blackie Lawless has a major meltdown.
Shocking.
He's going to cancel the whole show.
He almost quits the game as a result, but decides
Not
to stay.
surprised.
What a Blackie move. That is probably the most true to character.
Yeah, no
Isn't
shit.
that funny?
No shit.
So far. Dave Grohl and Scott Travis have a minor disagreement. Dave leaves the alliance with Scott Travis and Geddy Lee.
Uh-oh. He's on an island all by himself now.
Just when you thought he was out,
This is not the time to do it, Dave. You're up for elimination. Okay, so in the Keys tribe, Scotty and Zach Wild have a small fight. Zach must have accidentally stepped on Scott one too many times during that last challenge. What are you doing, man? Hey, I'm from New York. Zach's like, fuck Anthrax, fuck Joe.
Fuck Meatloaf.
Fuck John Bush, fuck Meatloaf, fuck Pearl. Okay, going into Tribal Council, the Killer Bee Tribe. Adrian Smith, Blackie Lawless, Dave Grohl, Geddy Lee, John Bonham, Lars Ulrich, and Scott Travis are up for elimination. I don't think it's going to be looking good for Dave. I think Dave might be seen.
Might have ruffled too many feathers.
Yeah. What do you think, BB?
Yeah, I think with that alliance with Lars and Blackie and John Bonamassa and Adrian Smith. John Bonham. Oh yeah, they're going to be tightly knit.
Yeah.
And so they're going to definitely not vote for any one of those guys. So I think Dave's in trouble here.
Yeah. Dad?
Yeah, Dave's vulnerable. I think could be curtains for Dave Grohl.
Yeah, it was not the time to pick a fight with Scott Travis.
When you're going up to get booted, you got to stay under the radar.
Yeah, especially Scott Travis has an idol. He could have played that idol for you. He could have saved you, and then you're
being a dick.
Maybe that's what the art disagreement's about.
But they don't. But they don't know if the right.
It's up to the person who has the idol whether you tell your teammates or not. I think Scott
would keep it to himself.
Yeah, like it could be like Dave being like, "I know you have an idol, man. Play it on me," and Scott's like, "Fuck you, man. I'm not doing that."
We're not doing that shit.
Okay, so let's see. Let's see if Scott plays the hidden immunity idol. He does play the idol. He plays it on Getty. He's playing it on his teammate, so he must be concerned that the core 4 alliance might be coming after one of them, and he doesn't care about Dave, so he wants to make sure Getty's okay. So let's see how if that's
better make sure he's okay himself.
Yeah, let's see if that's a good idol play because we
haven't had any yet.
We're 0 for 2 on idol plays. First vote, Getty does not count.
Huh.
Second vote, Getty does not count. Scott with the first good idol play.
No shit.
Third vote, Getty does not count. Fourth vote, Getty does not count.
No shit.
Fifth vote, Lars. 1 vote, Lars. 2 votes left. The 7th person voted on a Survivor Potter Than Hell. Lars Ulrich.
Good play, Scott.
4 votes for Getty canceled because of Scott Travis.
Saved Getty's Canadian bacon.
That was fantastic. That is how you do it, as Jeff Probst would say. 3
Lars
votes.
is like, what the hell just happened here?
What, man?
Fuck Judas Priest.
I think that's fucking stock.
Fucking Judas Priest went on there and ever played with fucking Metallica.
Oh my god. Okay, so it looks like the people that voted for Getty were Adrian, Blackie, John Bonham, and Lars. Mm-hmm. So it looks like the alliance. It was the core 4 that were going after Getty.
Yeah.
So Dave, even though we got into an argument with Scott Travis, still voted against Lars. He was, maybe being like it could have been a coup on their part, like making it seem like they're out of sorts, and it's like, oh, you're going to win the vote, but. Wow, that's probably the most interesting tribal council we've had.
That was good play.
That was a great play on Scott Travis. I would be looking out for Scott Travis now.
He is ambidextrous.
Yep. Okay, so we're going to take a break going into episode 8, which is going to be The Merge. So, Dad, do you have a Hidden Gem song that you'd like to do for a break?
Yes, I do. BB's going to love this one since it was going to be my hidden gem from last week, but I couldn't play it. Because Dylan put the kibosh on it.
I will kibosh again.
So I am going to, from a new band that I found, BB.
Yes!
They're called Smoking Snakes. Smoking Snakes. And this song is called Soul Survivors.
Okay, that was Soul Survivor by Kissing Snakes?
Soul Survivors by Smoking Snakes. From their upcoming album, Danger Zone.
It is, and BB was pointing out how fantastic it was that Soul Survivors was the name of the song because
I know, and
it's a
it
Survivor
was one of
episode.
2 songs that are released. And I'm like, it fit perfectly.
It did.
And I didn't even realize that until I looked it up, just like right now.
That goes to show you how.
But check out the
well-played
song's really good though.
Okay, absolutely. It can't be worse than Call Me Snake.
Stop it.
Okay, so we're going into episode 8. So in terms of tallies, so Dad, you currently still have 4 of your members left from your original tribe. You have Adrian Smith, Geddy Lee, and Scott Travis, and Ted Nugent. Adrian, Geddy, and Scott are on the Killer Bee tribe, and Ted is on the Keys tribe, though this will not be the case for much longer.
Ooh.
BB, you currently still have 3 of your original members, Blackie Lawless, John Bonham, and Eddie Van Halen. And I currently have 4 of my original members, Dave Grohl, I don't think for much longer, Axl Rose, Scott Ian, and Zach Wilde. So BB, out of your current members, who do you think's going to go all the way at this point?
You know what? I think the best one would be Blackie Lawless.
Okay.
I think maybe with that alliance he has, they're gonna. And I think he's like out of the 3, he's almost like the best survivor, if you will. I think he would work well out in this deserted island.
Even though he had a major meltdown and almost quit the show.
Almost. He's
coming
better.
back with the vengeance.
Yeah, he's ready to go now.
Dad, how about of your remaining 4? Who do you think's got the best chance?
I think Scott Travis. I think he played that idol really smart, and I think he's got a good shot going forward.
Yeah, that was the play of the game so far.
Yep.
Like, going into jury...
It was good gamesmanship.
If he makes it to the final 3 and it comes down to jury, that might be the thing that gets him the win.
Yep.
As for me, I feel like Scott Ian's doing pretty well. He's making friends very easily. His alliance with Axl Rose has been going strong, almost as strong as Geddy and Scott Travis's alliance has been. That's kind of been like the rival duo. But I mean, I don't think you could count out Axl Rose. He's lasted a lot longer than I thought he was gonna. That's the Boston Rob of the game, Axl Rose. Okay, so we're going into the merge, everybody. So the Killer Bee tribe and the Keys tribe are no more, and now we have the Hellions tribe.
Whoa!
So all of our members currently are in the one tribe. So now we're into individual immunity. Only one person will win immunity in each challenge. So it's going to be even harder coming into it. Whole groups of people are going to be up for elimination. So we'll see how it goes going forward. We'll see what alliances are made or broken. And let's get it going. Okay. So the current alliances going on right now. We have Axl Rose and Scott Ian. They are ride or die for each other. 9 strength. We have the Geddy Lee and Scott Travis tribe. They've been in the same tribe for, bouncing with each other the whole time. They went from the Podfester tribe to the Killer Bee tribe, and now they're in the Hellions tribe together. So they've been kind of bouncing from house to house, still sticking together. And then there's another tribe of alliance of Adrian Smith, Blackie Lawless, and John Bonham. So they had lost Outlaws in the last, tribal council, but they're still the strongest tribe numbers-wise. So we'll see what happens with that going forward in the game. Okay, so the immunity challenge. Wrist assured. Castaways hold on to a handle with a rope wrapped around it. At the end of the rope is a bucket that contains 25% of their body weight. As the challenge goes on, the rope will begin to unspool, making it harder to keep the bucket in the air. The last man standing in the challenge will win individual immunity. So it looks like normally it is last man and woman, but because this is a sausage fest, it is the last 2 people standing will win immunity. So what are we thinking in this challenge? It seems like it's a lot of a test of endurance and a test of strength. Who do we think is looking good for this one?
I think John Bonham and Scott Travis are looking good on this one.
Okay.
Little arm strength for the drummers.
Okay. Yeah. BB?
Well, I like the John Bonham. I'm going to go Zach Wilde. Now
Zach?
that he's buff and he's always lifting weights. So I'm gonna go with those 2 guys for sure.
Well, the interesting thing is like the 25% of the body weight. it definitely comes into play here because Zach's going to have the most weight out of everybody because he's the buffest guy, but he also is pretty toned. He's pretty in shape, so he might be able to hold that weight. So the two winners are Zach Wilde and Axl Rose.
Axl, come on.
Axl Rose.
Wow.
Is Axl Rose going to be a challenge beast? I don't know. He's got to be somebody to look out for. He's dangerous. So they will not be up for elimination in Tribal Council. They are safe from the votes of their teammates. So people are going to be rallying around them, trying to convince them, hey,
don't vote for me.
Don't vote for me. So no secret advantages going on. Axl and Eddie Van Halen have a minor disagreement. That's not good. Axl is starting to Boston Rob his way into the Hellions tribe, and Eddie Van Halen is not having it. He doesn't want any prima donnas. He's dealt with David Lee Roth already.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to deal with another.
Yeah, he doesn't need more LSD, lead singer disease.
Yeah. It looks like both Zach and Axl are impressing the rest of the team. Understandable. They just won the challenge. That's a good position to be in. Blackie leaves the Majority Alliance, BB.
Oh, no. What's he doing?
He leaves the alliance of Adrian, Blackie, and John Bonham. And it looks like we have another alliance that has just formed. And it's a big one. It has 5 members in it.
Oh, boy.
Axl Rose, Geddy Lee, Scott Ian, Ted Nugent, and Zach Wilde.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if Geddy is kind of playing mole for Scott Travis.
Could be.
Poor Scott.
I don't know if he's betraying Scott. I think this is dangerous. This is a Keys Majority Alliance here. With all of my remaining members are currently in this alliance, so that's a spicy meatball. Or sorry, not all of them, but all but Dave. Of course, all but Dave Grohl is currently in the alliance. Uncle Ted's sitting pretty though in there, Dad.
Uncle Ted's looking good. I think he's even for Ted, he's staying under the radar.
Yeah, Ted is not butting heads with anybody, and that is probably one of the most surprising things about this so far. Okay, so going into Tribal Council, we have a pretty good list here of individuals left: Adrian Smith, Axl Rose, Blackie Lawless, Dave Grohl, Eddie Van Halen, Geddy Lee, John Bonham, Scott Ian, Scott Travis, Uncle Ted, and Zach Wilde. Zach Wilde and Axl Rose have their immunity necklaces on from the challenge. They are ineligible to be voted out. So the vote comes in. What does everybody think is going to happen? I don't know if they're going to get Dave out yet. He might be... there's a thing in Survivor called the GOAT, and it's not the greatest of all time. It is the sacrificial GOAT that they bring in to the final 3. So it's like, you definitely won't be voting this person out because they did nothing. And there's no chance of them winning. So, to have, one less competitive person in. I think Dave Grohl might be a GOAT at this point. So they might not vote him out. They might try and vote out people that they think are going to be, challenge beasts. So Ted might be up for votes, but he just got in that big alliance. So he could be safe.
I say Blackie Lawless because he's just crying about everything.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think Geddy's going to get the axe on this one,
really?
For some reason. I do.
Yeah, Scott could be a little butthurt about not getting into that alliance with them.
Just the feeling.
Rally the troops around them. Yeah, that's going to be very interesting.
He helped them out.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the vote. First vote, Dave Grohl. That's 1 vote Dave. Second vote, Blackie Lawless. 1 vote Blackie, 1 vote Dave. Third vote, Dave Grohl. Second vote, 2 votes Dave, 1 vote Blackie. Fourth vote, Blackie.
Billy
2
Martin.
apiece.
Billy Martin.
Fifth vote, Dave Grohl.
Uh-oh.
3 votes Dave, 2 votes Blackie. Next vote, Dave Grohl. 4 votes Dave, 2 votes Blackie. Dave Grohl, 5 votes Dave, 2 votes Blackie. 4 votes left. The 8th person voted out of Hotter Than Hell Survivor. And the first member of the jury. Now, every member from here on out that gets voted out will sit on the jury. And the jury at the end of the competition will determine from the final 3 that are left who will be the sole survivor. So it'll be a vote to see who wins it. And Dave is the first jury member. And I figured he would be out. He has not made any friends. Dave, the tribe has spoken. Your torch is out, my friend. Yeah, he was getting dragged along for quite a while. I don't think he made any friends on this season.
No.
Dave, you disappointed me, buddy. Both of my Daves are God. Yeah, so it looks like the people that voted for Blackie were Dave Grohl and Eddie Van Halen. Everybody else voted for Dave Grohl. Everybody else was sick of Dave Grohl's shit. They're all like, you're the reason rock and roll's the way it is today.
You're on too many shows.
Okay, so now we're down to the final 10. We'll go from there. The alliances as they currently sit. Axl and Scott. Scott Ian still going strong. It seems like Getty and Scott Travis are still in an alliance together. So Getty must be playing like inside man on the big alliance. Adrian Smith and John Bonham still have their alliance going. That used to be a 4-majority alliance. Down to only 2 now. And then the biggest alliance currently going in the game is Axl Rose, Geddy Lee, Scott Ian, Ted Nugent, and Zach Wilde. That's a pretty strong alliance. Axl has been kind of a godfather at this point, kind of seeming to pull the strings at camp, sitting pretty up top. I don't know if these other alliances on the outskirts are going to be able to take him out, but, you know, what do you think of all that, Dad?
It's getting interesting.
Yeah.
It's getting interesting.
Yeah.
All these different alliances and stuff, and actually even the alliances that comes to fruition later when these people are on the jury too.
Yeah, exactly. They could be loyal to. If Geddy gets knocked out, Scott could have his vote.
Yep.
At this point, so at this point, it's not even keeping people to vote against you; it's getting people to vote for you when the time comes to get into the end. BB, what do you think?
I'm getting a little nervous with my guys. You know, Eddie and Blackie are not even in an alliance.
Yeah.
So that only leaves one, John Bonham in an alliance with Adrian Smith. So I'm getting a little nervous for my guys here.
Yep. Yeah, Dad, you're currently sitting at the most people still left of our original groups. That could change in an instant, though.
I'm not getting cocky. I'm hanging on.
Okay, the reward challenge. Catch of the day. Castaways are split up into 2 teams of 5. One at a time, they must go out into the water and clip a rope to a fish basket containing pieces to a flag puzzle. The other members would then drag them back to shore. The first team to assemble the puzzle wins reward. Okay, so the first group is Axl Rose, Blackie Lawless, Eddie Van Halen, John Bonham, and Scott Travis. And then the second group is Adrian Smith, Geddy Lee, Scott Ian, Ted Nugent, and Zach Wilde. What group do you think is going to come out on top on this one?
I think they're pretty evenly split.
Yeah, that's true. You know,
It could be anyone's game here on this one.
If it was an actual fishing challenge, Group 2 is pretty stacked. You got Adrian Smith, you got Ted Nugent. You know, they're both they're both hunters, anglers. Yep. So, but it is not a fishing challenge. And I think Adrian might be disappointed by that. He's like, catch of the day. Oh,
not fishing.
I just want to fish. BB, any insights on this?
No, you actually took the words right out of with Zach and with Adrian on that same team there. You know, and then plus Zach, you have 3 great, muscular guys who are athletic, pretty much anglers, hunters. I think team number 2 is probably going to win this.
Okay. And it seems like Team 2 does win the reward. They win a river cruise lunch. So they get to go on a river cruise boat and eat some lunch. Talk some strategy. This is actually a really good time for them to talk about different alliances they could form. Because, these are kind of members that have been grouped up randomly. So you don't know, if you were friendly with them or not. But this could be the time to be like, hey, what do you think of this person back at camp? And start talking strategy. It's a pretty dangerous game. Okay, immunity challenge, snake in the grass. Each castaway must traverse a series of hurdles to retrieve bags of puzzle pieces. The first 3 to cross the finish line will move on to the final round, where they must use the puzzle pieces to solve a snake puzzle. The first person to finish their snake puzzle wins immunity. Snake.
Puzzle.
So in terms of... So it seems like there is some athleticism involved with the hurdles. So what are we thinking in terms of who could win this challenge, BB?
I think Axl jumps out. I think Scott Ian jumps out. I think Eddie Van Halen jumps out. Maybe even a little Geddy Lee may be a surprise there. Okay. Being the smaller, skinnier, quicker guys, I bet you one of the 4, one of those 4 win.
Dad?
I think Adrian Smith's going to win this one. I have a feeling.
Okay. Well, Zach Wilde wins it.
Whoa!
Oh.
Zach Wilde is quickly becoming a challenge beast. They need to... I think he's going to be a target once he loses immunity, because he could just go all the way with his immunity wins. So, Zach better watch himself going forward. Okay,
There's
so...
that bullseye target, baby.
Yep, here it is again.
Events that happen in at camp. Blackie and Scott Ian find something in common. It has a lasting impact. So Scott Ian making friends again
The love of meatloaf.
with Blackie Lawless. Scott Ian's like, you sound like Meatloaf in recent albums. But that's my father-in-law. Scott Ian and Zach finding something in common. Scott Ian is
just,
getting around.
he's like the mayor. Scott Ian is the mayor of Survivor here.
He is a social butterfly, and I'm here for it. And that's why I picked him. I'm like, Scott Ian will be friendly with everybody. I thought Dave Grohl was going to be, but he was not.
He was not. He was a disappointment in that.
What do you think Scott Ian and Zach Wilde have in common, Dad? What do they find?
I don't know. I think they're going to be they're like an odd pair that just kind of meshes.
Yeah, Felix and Oscar situation, that they just find something that ineffable quality that they can't describe bonds them together. Uh-oh, Dad. Adrian and Scott Travis bond strongly. A real strong bond between two of your guys. Of course, they were in the Podfester tribe way back when.
Yep.
Reuniting, and it feels so good. That's probably good for you going forward, having some of your members being kind of buddy-buddy.
You said Scott, Travis, and Adrian, right?
Yep, Scott, Travis, and Adrian.
Maiden and Priest.
Yep, Maiden and Priest. Good combo as any. Uh-oh. Axl Rose has left the big alliance. He's going solo. Boston Rob, I don't know what you're doing. You were doing so well in that alliance. Why would you leave? Oh, Axl. Oh, that's not good.
That's a bold move, Cotton.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And a new alliance is formed from the ashes of that. Axl Rose has formed a new alliance consisting of him, Blackie Lawless, Eddie Van Halen, John Bonham, and Scott Travis.
Whoa, boy.
He has formed a rival alliance.
Uh-oh.
And that must be from the
trip?
From the river trip. I told you. You bond over a win like that. You bond over. It's like those guys get to go on a riverboat cruise. We're better than them. Like we could, this is what happens at Survivor. The social game. That's crazy. Uncle Ted rests at camp to restore his energy. Yeah, you take a little nap, Uncle Ted.
Dude's like 72. Come on.
Okay, going into Tribal Council. Zach Wilde, of course, immune. He is safe from elimination in this tribe. So that means that Adrian Smith, Axl Rose, Blackie Lawless, Eddie Van Halen, Geddy Lee, John Bonham, Scott, Ian, and Travis, and Ted Nugent are up for elimination. Anybody have any guesses about this one?
I think Ted may get it.
You think the resting at camp might
resting
be
at camp? He may be. Yep.
I'm gonna go Geddy Lee. I think he's out.
Oh,
I think he's out there. Everybody's going to let's get rid of him.
All right.
I'm very concerned that people are going to look at Axl and be like, he's making too many big moves. We need to get rid of him. That's my concern at the moment, because that's a bold move, leaving the majority alliance to form a rival alliance against them.
Right.
So I don't know how that's going to play out, but we will see what happens. First vote, Adrian Smith. It's one vote, Adrian. Second vote, Uncle Ted. That's one vote, Adrian.
They're going after the Podfesters.
Third vote, Adrian. 2 votes, Adrian. 1 vote, Uncle Ted. Next vote, Adrian. 3 votes, Adrian. 1 vote, Uncle Ted. Fourth vote, Adrian. 4 votes, Adrian. 1 vote, Uncle Ted. 5 votes left. Adrian. That's 5 votes, Adrian. 1 vote, Uncle Ted. 4 votes left. Uncle Ted. 5 votes, Adrian. 2 votes, Uncle Ted. Uncle Ted. 5 votes, Adrian. 3 votes, Uncle Ted. 2 votes left. Uncle Ted. 5 votes, Adrian. 4 votes, Uncle Ted. 1 vote
We're
left.
gonna have a tie.
The 9th person voted out of Survivor Hotter Than Hell, and the second member of the jury, Adrian Smith.
Fuck you guys. I'm going fishing.
So 6 votes, Adrian, and 4 votes, Uncle Ted. That was close. That was very, very close. Yeah, there's a resort that they go to when everybody has been...
And they just hang out.
out. So he could very well be going fishing at this point.
Yep.
Starts with a P. I can't remember what it's called.
Hey, Potter Than Hellions. Editing Dylan here. The resort that I was thinking of is called Ponderosa, and it is where all of the contestants who were kicked out hang out and chill after they get voted out, just so that they don't spoil the season. So Adrian is currently fishing up some bass at Ponderosa with the rest of the eliminated contestants. Okay, back to the cutthroat world of Potter Than Hell Survivor.
Okay, so the votes went in like this. Uncle Ted, the people voted for Uncle Ted were Adrian, Blackie, John Bonham, and Eddie Van Halen. So the people that voted for Adrian were Axl, Geddy Lee, Scott Ian, Scott Travis, Uncle Ted, and Zach. So it's looking like Axl may have made the right choice with that move. I think he's the ringleader at this point. Okay, we're down to 9 people. It looks like people currently still in for my dad are Geddy Lee, Scott Travis, and Uncle Ted. BB, you still have Blackie Lawless, Eddie Van Halen, and John Bonham. And I still have Axl Rose, Scott Ian, and Zach Wilde. So we're all tied up. 3 apiece. Which is great because it was not this even in the first simulation. So, it seems like the alliances are still the same. So we're going into the reward challenge, Muddy Waters. The merged tribe will be divided into 2 teams of 4 via schoolyard-style picking. Tribe members must traverse a muddy obstacle course and retrieve bags with 3 balls in them. Once all bags have been collected, all 4 members must shoot 12 balls into a fish trap propped like a basket. The first quartet to shoot all 12 balls into a fish trap basket would win a reward. So, in terms of who you think will be last picked, what do you think?
I'm going to say Ted because he was the next big vote getter.
Okay.
On the last council.
BB?
Oh, boy. You know what? I'm gonna I don't know why. I still think Geddy Lee's out there on that island.
Okay.
I don't know what he's doing there with this big alliance here.
Mm-hmm. So group 1 is Axl, Scott Ian, Scott Travis, and Zach Wilde. The second group is Blackie, Geddy, John Bonham, and Ted Nugent. And Eddie Van Halen was not picked, and he does not participate and cannot win reward.
Oh, no.
So he's sitting on the side, swinging his feet on the dock.
Man, oh, man.
On the dock on the bay.
So it looks like Axl, the Scots, and Zach won reward. They get to win a trip to a local Filipino village where they deliver school supplies and various toys to the kids and receive a feast. That's always a very heartwarming trip.
That's nice.
You know, it always very much like everybody feels very good about helping out the people of the different regions.
Absolutely.
Okay, immunity challenge, paddle out. The castaways must balance on an oversized paddle while attempting to glide a ball down to the end of the paddle, where 6 small holes are located. The first castaway to get a ball in all 6 holes will win immunity. So it's a balancing thing. Who do you think is going to come out on top on this one?
I think Scott Travis is going to.
Scott Travis. BB.
Because he's ambidextrous, so he could do either hand.
Okay.
I'm going to say Uncle Ted. Uncle Ted's going to surprise you in this.
You think so? All right.
Well, Uncle Ted does indeed surprise. He wins immunity.
Wow.
Yes. I think Scott, the wind was blowing him. He's kind of like a reed, so
Could have been. Yeah.
the wind blows him a little too much. He can't quite keep the thing. So some events that happen. Uncle Ted and Zach have bonded slightly. They're the 2 challenge beasts, and they're bonding over that. Oh, Axl, Blackie, Eddie, John Bonham, and Scott Travis have dissolved their alliance.
Oh.
I knew Axl
Couldn't
could keep
last
that
forever.
in there. However, a stronger alliance of Blackie, John Bonham, and Scott Travis has formed in its wake. So they kicked out Eddie Van Halen and they kicked out Axl Rose from their alliance.
Get out.
Okay, going into Tribal Council. Uncle Ted is safe. Anybody have any thoughts on who's going to be going home? I feel like Axl might be up for a vote, seeing how that just happened. That's not looking good if you get kicked out of an alliance right away.
I think John Bonham's going. I don't know why.
You think so?
I had a John Bonham feeling.
So Eddie can't be kicked out because he wasn't in it.
No, so Eddie can be kicked out.
He just
that was
didn't have to participate.
That was for the reward challenge.
Yeah.
I still don't understand what Geddy Lee's doing. We haven't talked about Geddy Lee. He's all by himself.
You were
here.
anti-Getty.
Well, he's still with Scott Travis. He's still in that alliance.
He's still in that. Okay. Yeah, I'll say Axl Rose.
Okay. Uncle Ted has immunity. First vote, Zach Wilde.
Oh.
Second vote, Axl Rose. 1 vote Axl, 1 vote Zach. Third vote, John Bonham. 1 vote Axl, 1 vote John Bonham, 1 vote Zach. John Bonham, 2 votes Bonham, 1 vote Axl, 1 vote Zach. John Bonham,
What the?
3 votes Bonham, 1 vote Axl, 1 vote Zach. Axl, 3 votes Bonham, 2 votes Axl, 1 vote Zach. Axl, 3-3 Axl and Bonham, 1 vote Zach, 2 votes left. Axl, 4 votes Axl, 3 Bonham, 1 Zach, 1 vote left. The 10th person voted out of Survivor Hotter Than Hell, and the third member of the jury, Axl Rose. The tribe has spoken. Yeah, I saw that coming a mile away. Once you get kicked out of a pretty strong alliance,
you're up.
not.
Yeah.
Your days are numbered, especially since he was winning challenges. So it's like we need to get him out.
Yeah. Almost like a threat.
Smart play.
It was a smart play. It was. So it looks like the only person that voted for Zach Wilde was Axl. The people that voted for John Bonham were Scott Ian, Uncle Ted, and Zach. And then the people that voted for Axl were Blackie, John Bonham, Eddie Van Halen, Geddy, and Scott Travis. So John Bonham. Who guessed John Bonham on the last one?
Me.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, down to 8. The final 8. The Elite 8, as they call it, right? Mm-hmm. Geddy and Scott still in a strong alliance. Still the alliance of Geddy Lee, Scott Ian, Ted Nugent, and Zach Wilde. And then that new alliance that formed of Blackie Lawless, John Bonham, and Scott Travis. Scott Travis is looking pretty strong. He's in 2 different alliances right now. Okay, reward challenge. Snare the drum. Castaways are split up into 2 teams of 4 for this challenge. In 3 circles are 2 drums. Each team must attempt to flip over 3 of their drums at the same time while preventing the other team from doing so. The first team to earn 3 points wins the reward. So the teams are Geddy, John Bonham, Scott Ian, and Ted Nugent. And then Blackie, Eddie, Scott Travis, and Zach Wilde. I feel like this one could be pretty even. I think
it's a good split.
Yeah. So it could be anybody's game. And it looks like Blackie, Eddie Van Halen, Scott Travis, and Zach Wilde win reward. They win a day at the spa and a feast.
All right.
So they're going to be pampered up. I'm thinking that it's probably a good group to do it. I think Blackie Lawless needs that spa.
He needs to relax a little bit.
He needs to calm down. Okay, the immunity challenge. Push your luck. Castaways must navigate a buoy through a rope course. The first 5 to complete the course advances to the second course, where they must navigate the buoy through a rope maze while moving across a balance beam. The first 3 advance to the final course, where they navigate the buoy through a water course. The first person to complete it wins immunity. So it seems like there's a lot of maneuvering through ropes with the buoy. It's pretty complicated. Any ideas who you think's going to win this one?
I think Zach's going to win this one.
I think Zach's too big for it. There's a lot of ropes. He's got to sneak around them.
I think he'll be.
I was going to pick Zach's, but I'll go Scott Travis.
Scott Travis, okay. Well, you were half right. Scott Ian.
Ooh, that's who I meant.
Okay. Looks like Geddy Lee and Scott Travis bond slightly. Go figure. Those two have been...
Yeah, they've been bonded since episode 6.
Those two have been friends for the... Scott Travis left the other alliance, the Blackie and John Bonham alliance. So I guess Geddy is you need to stick with me and me alone. It's the 2 of us. Okay, going into Tribal Council. Scott Ian is immune. We have Blackie, Eddie Van Halen, Geddy, John Bonham, Scott Travis, Ted Nugent, and Zach Wilde up for elimination. Any ideas who we think is going to be eliminated?
I think they're so good. They're going to go after Bonham again.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I think that's a pretty safe bet,
so
especially
since he was vulnerable last time. So
yeah, especially since Scott Travis just left an alliance with them.
Yep.
I think that the bell is tolling for John
Bonzo
Bonham.
is going to be Gonzo.
Okay. First vote, Blackie. Second vote, Uncle Ted.
Wow.
Looking at Uncle Ted, a challenge beast. 2 votes for Blackie, or 2 votes Blackie and Uncle Ted. Uncle Ted, 2 votes Ted, 1 vote Blackie. Blackie, 2 votes apiece. Blackie, 3 votes for Blackie, 2 votes for Uncle Ted. Uncle Ted, tied up at 3, 2 votes left. Blackie, that's 4 votes Blackie, 3 votes Uncle Ted, 1 vote left. The 11th person voted out of Hotter Than Hell Survivor, and the 4th member of the jury, Blackie Lawless. Oh. Blackie, the tribe has spoken. So it looks like the people that voted for Uncle Ted were Blackie, John Bonham, and Eddie Van Halen. And everybody else voted for Blackie Lawless. So there you go, baby. That's another one that bites the dust.
Yes. We're down to 2 now.
Down
boy.
to 2. Yeah, you and me are down to 2. Dad, you still have 3 people.
We're hanging on. We're hanging on.
Sitting alive there. It'd be really cool if the final 3 was one from each of us, but I don't know if that's going to turn out that way. Yep, same alliances going. Okay, so the reward challenge. So this is the Survivor auction. This is a very iconic challenge. The castaways are given $500 to bid on items, and they could range from food, advantages, or love from home, like letters or like a message from your loved ones. Pooling or sharing money is not permitted, and the auction could end at any time. So Uncle Ted wins pancakes, bacon, butter, maple syrup, and orange juice. A nice breakfast. Scott Travis wins a meal with wine. So he gets Getty wins iced coffee and donuts. Maybe from Stan Makita's Donuts.
Yeah.
Scott Ian wins an item that was covered, and it turns out to be fried chicken.
All right.
Eddie Van Halen also wins a
I think he's from Atlanta, so that'd be all right.
Yeah, there you go. Scott Ian, he's from New York.
Oh, I thought it was Scott Travis. I'm sorry.
Eddie Van Halen wins another covered item, and it's a baked potato.
Eddie's pissed.
So he could give it up, and if he gives it up, the tribe gets rice and beans. So he could give it up to give more food to the tribe, or he could keep it for himself. What do you think he does, guys?
I think he gives it up. It's only a fucking potato.
Yeah, he definitely gives it up.
He keeps the reward.
Oh, my God.
Does he really?
The poor guy.
And he's like, I'm going to keep it. So that's probably going to be a target on his back right there. Uncle Ted wins a covered item, a gigantic sandwich. Uncle Ted wins an advantage in the game. So he wins an advantage at the next immunity challenge. And then Geddy Lee wins a covered item, which is veal shanks for the whole tribe for 60 seconds. Whatever that means. So Uncle Ted has an advantage into this next immunity challenge. Let's see if he...
He's going to be too full to do anything.
Yeah. He has a lot of... He's
got energy. He's got energy.
That's a good advantage. He's got a lot of carbs to burn off now. Brains and brawn. The castaways are attached to a rope, which is threaded to a hitching rail. Then second part, they're attached to another rope while navigating through bamboo poles. And then they are untying a series of rope gates while navigating through a multi-level obstacle course. So seems like you got to be... There's a little bit of a... speed and spryness are the advantage here. Who do we think's going to win?
I think Scotty, and I think he's a little guy. He's going to shoot through there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Eddie Van Halen.
Okay.
All right.
Uncle Ted apparently uses his energy from...
Wow.
And his advantage to win immunity. So, there we go. Uncle Ted is safe. It looks like John Bonham and Scott Ian are bonding slightly. Scott Ian, my God, he's making friends all over the place.
He's a schmoozer.
He's a schmoozer, for sure. It looks like another alliance is formed. Eddie Van Halen, Ted Nugent, and Zach Wilde. So we got the guitarists forming an alliance together. That's pretty funny. They left out Scott Ian because he's only rhythm. It's like, only leads here, Scott. It looks like Eddie also works hard at camp and becomes tired. So Eddie busts his hump working at camp. Okay, we're going into tribal council. Uncle Ted's immune. Anybody see any targets on anybody's backs? Eddie might have a target on his back for
not sharing.
Not giving that baked potato up. Well, any other thoughts?
I'm going to stick with Bonham.
Bonham? BB.
You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb, and I think they're going to go after Scott Ian.
Scott Ian, okay. He's getting too friendly, too chummy with
Too
him.
schmoozing.
Yeah. You know what? I think...
Stop being the mayor. You're out of here.
Yeah, friend to all is a friend to none. Yeah. Okay, so Uncle Ted is immune. Let's see what happens in this tribal council. First vote, Scott Travis. That's 1 vote, Scott Travis. Second vote, John Bonham. 2 apiece, or 1 apiece for Scott and Travis, or Scott and Bonham. Next vote is for John Bonham. 2 votes Bonham, 1 vote Travis. Scott Travis tied up, 2 apiece. John Bonham, 3 votes for Bonham, 2 votes for Scott Travis. 2 votes left. Scott Travis, 3 votes Bonham, 3 votes Travis, 1 vote left. The 12th person voted out of Survivor Hotter Than Hell, and the 5th member of the jury, Scott Travis.
Crap! Come on!
Scott, the tribe has spoken. I think it was a similar situation with Scott Ian, that Scott Travis was befriending too many people. So it looks like the people that voted for Scott Travis were John Bonham, Eddie Van Halen, Uncle Ted, and Zach. And, of course, Getty stuck with his man the entire time. He voted for John Bonham, and Scott Ian and Scott Travis also voted for John Bonham. So Getty was loyal to the end to Scott Travis. He may have a vote from Scott Travis if he makes it to the finals. Right. So the final 6, I think we each have 2 apiece at this point, right? Because BB's got Eddie Van Halen and John Bonham. Dad's got Geddy Lee and Ted Nugent, and I've got Scotty and Zach Wilde. It's an interesting combo. I didn't know if I expected these all to make it. Okay. So now there are only 2 alliances. It looks like Ted Nugent and Zach Wilde are in both alliances. They're in one alliance with Geddy Lee and Scotty Ian, and then in another alliance with Eddie Van Halen. So Ted and Zach seem to be bonding over the barbecue. Okay, the reward challenge. The castaways will compete alongside their loved ones for this challenge. So they'll pick a member of their family or their wife to compete. The castaway will throw a mud-covered ball to their loved one, who must attempt to knock over 5 targets from the pedestal. First castaway to do this will win reward. So what? We think Eddie's probably bringing... Do you think he's bringing Valerie, or do you think he's bringing Wolfie?
I think he'll bring Wolfgang. Yeah, I think so. He maybe bring Alex, maybe.
Yeah, Getty brings Alex.
Yeah.
Uncle Ted, maybe
he'd bring his wife. I think.
Yeah, bring his wife. Yeah. Or Derek St. Holmes.
Yeah.
What do you think Zach Wilde's bringing, BB?
He's bringing Ozzy.
He's bringing
bringing Sharon.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So Uncle Ted wins it. Go figure. And he gets
Uncle Ted and Charmaine, I think his wife is.
He gets to share the reward with 2 other castaways, and he picks Zach Wilde and Geddy Lee. So those 3 will get an afternoon and a night with a loved one. So they get to have that. So that's definitely going to bond Zach and Geddy to Ted, because that's a really strong reward to win. But it's also going to piss everybody else off. So we'll see how that goes into going.
Ted's the only one that gets laid.
Yeah, you guys should have picked your wives. Why'd you pick your friends? Okay, immunity challenge, fish and game. Oh, this is the castaways must cross over a platform to the other side of the water via rope bridge. From there, they will use a rope with a hook attached in order to pull 3 buoys out of the water with bags of sticks attached to them. After retrieving all 3, they must tie the sticks together in order to knock over a target on the other end and release a flag. First person to release their flag wins immunity. Adrian is kicking the dirt, seeing that he had a fishing challenge and is not there to do it. Anybody have any ideas who wins this one?
I think Geddy wins this one.
Think Geddy?
Oh, boy. Let's go Scott Ian. He hasn't won one in a while.
Scott Ian indeed wins immunity.
You're good at picking them, BB.
Yeah, it's all about luck.
Okay. So, some events that happened at camp. Eddie Van Halen and Zach bond strongly. Has a lasting impact.
I'm surprised he's not pissed off, because the alliance that him and Zach and Uncle Ted had, and then the dinner.
But it was Uncle Ted that picked him, so
he left him out and
Zach
went with Geddy.
Zach was like, hey man, he should have picked you. Like, I don't know why he picked Geddy.
Right.
And like, maybe he's commiserating with Eddie about that. So, that could be how he gets in strongly. Eddie Van Halen and Scott Ian have a minor disagreement.
Uh-oh.
Good thing Scott is immune, but Eddie might be on the outs here.
Uh-oh.
Okay, going into Tribal Council. Scott Ian has the immunity necklace. Anybody have any guesses about who's going to be eliminated?
I think Geddy could be going home.
You think Geddy's going home?
I'm going to say I think Bonham's all by himself. I think Bonham's gone.
He's been getting some votes, too.
Oh, okay. I have him crossed out, but I crossed him out by mistake. So that's if I saw him, that's who I would have went with, too.
Okay. You're bandwagon onto Bonham. Okay. So here we go. First vote. Eddie Van Halen.
What the fuck?
Scott Ian is not somebody you'd have a disagreement with.
I guess not.
Second vote. Eddie Van Halen. Third vote. Eddie Van Halen.
Oh, man. What happened to this alliance, righty?
Fourth vote. John Bonham. There you go. 3 votes, Eddie. 1 vote Bonham, 2 votes left. John Bonham, 3 votes Eddie, 2 votes Bonham, 1 vote left.
Freddie, it doesn't matter. They're both my guys.
The last vote, John Bonham.
We have a tie.
3 votes Eddie, 3
Tied.
votes Bonham, tied up. We're going to re-vote. Those who were involved in the tie do not vote. First vote, John Bonham. That's 1 vote Bonham. Second vote, John Bonham. 2 votes Bonham. The 13th person voted out of Survivor Power Than Hell. 6th member of the jury, John Bonham. John, the tribe has spoken. So it looks like Getty was a swing vote. He originally voted for Eddie, but then switched over to John Bonham. And the same thing with Scott Ian. Scott had originally voted for Eddie as well. Switched over to John Bonham.
See? Uncle Ted is like, hey, listen.
Okay, so we're down to the final 5, BB.
All right.
You have 1 member left. How are you feeling about that? Are you feeling strong about Eddie Van Halen?
No, he's teetering.
Yeah, teetering.
He's north and south here. I don't know what's going to happen here.
Yeah, he's not making friends with the people he should be.
No.
Is the problem. Okay. So, alliances. He is currently in an alliance with Uncle Ted and Zach. However, Geddy Lee and Scott Ian are also in a separate alliance with Uncle Ted and Zach.
Yep.
So it depends on who Uncle Ted and Zach are.
Ooh.
They're kind of the decision makers at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is very interesting. I didn't think that was going to happen. But now that Axl Rose is gone, the power vacuum, Uncle Ted and Zach came in with the Challenge Beast stuff. Okay, so the reward challenge is called Sliders. Contestants must race over a slide into the ocean to retrieve 5 rings. Once they return, they must toss the rings onto 5 poles, 1 for each ring. The first person to do so wins the reward. So there's some target practice aspect to it. Who do you think's going to win this one?
You know what? Just for the storyline, I think Geddy Lee's going to win this one, and then Eddie will be voted off.
Okay. You think?
Or it's going to be flip-flop because the program just picked Bonham to go, so hopefully they don't go boom, boom.
Yeah.
So maybe Eddie will win it, and then Geddy Lee will go.
Okay. Well, it was Uncle Ted that won the reward. Uncle Ted is killing these challenges. And go figure, he picked Zach Wilde and Geddy Lee for the reward challenge. He's being too obvious about who his favorites are.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I think that's gonna bite him in the ass. That's never good. They win a boat ride in the Philippine Ocean, pizza and soft drinks that they can eat while in the ride, and an opportunity to swim with whale sharks. So, do you think they took up that opportunity? I don't think Geddy was swimming with the whale sharks.
Yeah, I don't think anybody left that boat.
Yeah.
They're definitely not swimming.
Ted's like, could I kill the whale sharks?
Yeah.
They go, no. He goes, well, what's the point then?
Yeah. What am I doing here?
Zach's like, fuck whale sharks, fuck the Philippine Ocean, fuck pizza, fuck soft drinks, I want a beer. No, he's sober right now.
He is sober,
so
yeah.
That's fine for him. He's good. Okay, so the immunity challenge, 1 track mind. At the start, each contestant would use 2 planks to cross a rope bridge, where they will collect 2 puzzle pieces along the way. If a contestant falls, they have to start again. After crossing the bridge, they would climb down a ladder and assemble a ball puzzle. Then when the puzzle is completed, each castaway would pull out a pin, releasing a ball into a maze that was earlier assembled. Then the contestant would guide the ball through the maze, avoiding trap holes. And the first contestant to guide the ball safely through the maze would win immunity. So this is a pretty complicated one. It seems like a lot of strategy and a lot of puzzle work. What are we thinking?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Zach wins this one.
Okay, why do you say that?
I have a little storyline going in my head here.
Okay, you're being the producer.
I'm being the producer now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, BB, you were 100% right. Zach wins immunity. He is safe from tribal council, and Uncle Ted and Zach have a small fight.
Oh boy.
And it has a lasting impact. I think that's a bad time for Uncle Ted.
Yeah. Right.
Because
why don't we vote off the strongest one? Right.
Yeah.
This is about the time we would do that.
Uncle Ted is a challenge beast at this point. He's won a lot of challenges, and he's also showed favoritism. So everybody who's not Geddy Lee and Zach Wilde are going to be pissed off that they're not picked for the wins, the reward wins.
Yep.
And now he's gotten into a fight with Zach Wilde. That was one of his that was his main compatriot, his main padre.
Yeah.
I don't think it's looking good for Ted.
No, not at all.
Okay, so the people up for elimination: Eddie Van Halen, Geddy Lee, Scott Ian, and Uncle Ted. Zach is immune. Yeah, I think we're both in agreement that Uncle Ted's not.
Yeah, Zach's going to vote for Uncle Ted. Eddie's going to vote for Uncle Ted. And probably Scott Ian will vote for Uncle... The only one that will vote for vote
Yeah,
probably opposite will be Geddy Lee.
I agree. I think Geddy is going to be the one that's loyal to Ted.
Yeah.
Because how many times he pulled him into the challenge win.
Sure.
It's not looking good for Ted Nugent. I would be very surprised if he survived this tribal council. Okay, time to vote. First vote, Eddie Van Halen. Second vote, Scott Ian. 1 vote Eddie Van Halen, 1 vote Scott Ian. Third vote, Uncle Ted. That's 1 vote for Eddie Van Halen, Scott Ian, and Uncle Ted. Eddie Van Halen, 2 votes Eddie, 1 vote Scott Ian, 1 vote Uncle Ted, 1 vote left. The 14th person voted out of Survivor Potter Than Hell.
What the heck?
And 7th member of the jury, Eddie Van Halen. Eddie, the tribe has spoken. BB, I'm so sorry. That was your last...
My last man standing.
Your last survivor. Unfortunately, it seems like Zach was the only one that voted for Uncle Ted. I guess nobody else saw the opportunity to get him out.
Right.
Not playing the game right. Eddie would have been a good person to bring to the end. He would have been a good goat, but nope. I guess he finger tapped his way on out of there. Okay, so now that you don't have somebody to root for, who do you think is going to go all the way? You have Geddy Lee, Scott Ian, Ted Nugent, and Zach Wilde.
I don't know. I like the role. I like where Zach is sitting.
Yeah.
You know, he has a little bit of power. He has a little bit of backing, and I think he's playing this game. He's playing this game well. How about who do you think?
I'm thinking at this point, if they don't get out Ted or Zach, it's their game to lose.
Right.
Because they're both challenge beasts. They both have really good there's a lot of talk about a resume of a Survivor contestant. Like the moves they've made during the competition, how many challenges they've won, alliances they've formed, and like forming a good resume. I think Ted Nugent and Zach Wilde have a very good resume. Lots of alliances that they've been part of that have kind of swayed key votes. They've, of course, won 1 million challenges. And I can't really say that Geddy or Scott have made big moves. Scott's befriended a lot of people.
Right.
So I think, he might win some votes that way, but he hasn't, he actually has won a couple challenges, now that I'm thinking about it. So he might be a black sheep. He might be the dark horse in the race. But I don't think Geddy has any chance of winning.
No, not at all.
I think the only vote that'll come to Geddy will be from Scott Travis, and that's just because they were ride or die from the beginning.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's Ted's or Zach's to lose, but Scott could come in there and surprise us all. So, Dad.
Okay, give me one last update because I gotta go.
So the final 4 currently is Geddy Lee, Scott Ian, Ted Nugent, and Zach Wilde. It is 2 of our people. And BB is currently eliminated. Eddie Van Halen got knocked out.
Oh, you're out altogether?
He's out altogether.
Okay, so Geddy, Ted against who?
Well, it's Geddy, Ted, Scott Ian, and Zach Wilde that are currently in.
Okay.
And even though they got into a disagreement, it seems like Zach and Ted are still strong in their alliance. So now we're going to the reward challenge, Dragon Slayer. Castaways must make their way through various obstacles on a course, obtaining 3 bags of puzzle pieces along the way. Once they have all 3 bags, they will return to the start, and they will use the puzzle pieces to assemble a dragon puzzle. First one to do it wins reward. What does everybody think who will win this one? Puzzle pieces. Who's the best at puzzles?
What do you think, Reddy?
I think Geddy.
Think Geddy? BB?
This is reward, right?
Yeah, this is a reward challenge, and it's a...
Yeah, and I got to go after this tribal council.
The way he's going, I'll just say Uncle Ted.
Well, it's Scott Ian that wins reward, and he wins an advantage in the final immunity challenge.
Scott?
Yep. And the final immunity challenge is the ball drop. Castaways must balance a small metal ball on a wooden cylinder while holding the center cylinder in place with 2 wooden handles. Every 5 minutes, new pieces will be added, making it harder to balance the ball on the center cylinder. The castaway who balances their ball the longest will win immunity. So this is tough. I think the advantage in this one is that if Scott drops the ball, he gets a do-over. I think that's how it is.
That's probably the advantage, right?
And that's the advantage, yeah. If I remember it correctly. Which is a great advantage.
Yeah.
I mean,
you get a do-over.
And it's basically like one of those situations where you're like pinning it, and then like more pieces, and like you have to like hold them together. Like it's like that situation. So what do you think? Who's going to win this one?
I think Zach's arm strength is going to do it.
Okay. BB?
I'll go storyline. I think Getty's going to win this one.
Okay.
You really throw a wrench in the gears here.
Well, you're both wrong. Scott Ian won. So Scott Ian is moving on to the final 3. He is making it to the final tribal council. Uncle Ted works hard at camp and becomes tired Ted. At this point, bud, there's not much you could do here. Okay, so the final tribal council before the finals, we have Geddy Lee, Ted Nugent, and Zach Wilde. Who do you think is getting eliminated, BP? What's your storyline looking like?
Oh, see, I'm still going to stick with my old one. I think they get rid of Uncle Ted.
Okay.
I think they get rid of Zach.
Okay. I definitely think it's either Zach or Ted because it's going to be tough to beat them, like in the final tribal council. Geddy,
Why don't we one of them out?
Yeah, Geddy is the GOAT at this point. Geddy has done nothing. He cannot win it. So they will bring him on as a safe, a buffer.
One guy to go against in the final.
So Geddy, I think, is safe. I think it's Ted or Zach that's going up. So here we go. First vote, Zach. That's 1 vote, Zach. Second vote, Geddy. 1 vote, Geddy. 1 vote, Zach. Third vote, Geddy. People, you're not playing the game. That's 2 votes, Geddy. 1 vote, Zach. 1 vote left. Zach, we got a tie. 2 apiece, so recount. First vote, Geddy. Second vote, Zach. Final vote count was 1 vote, Geddy, 1 vote, Zach. So now, it's a fire-making challenge between the two. So they have to... The first person to make a fire and burn through the rope to raise the flag will win. So who do you think is going to be better at fire making?
I'm going to say Geddy. He's going to shine this one time.
Okay.
I'll go Zach.
All right.
Okay. Zach lost the fire making challenge.
Oh, no.
So Geddy moves on to the final 3. And the final 3 is Geddy Lee, Scott Ian, and Ted Nugent. They're facing the jury of Adrian Smith, Axl Rose, Blackie Lawless, Dave Grohl, Eddie Van Halen, John Bonham, Scott Travis, and Zach Wilde. Okay, so my dad had to leave for work. He is not going to know who wins against me and him. But the final 3, Geddy Lee, Scott Ian, and Ted Nugent, it's not looking good for me. Seeing as I have 1 guy and he has 3. BB.
Well, he has 2.
He has 2. Sorry, that's right. BB, in terms of this trio, who do you think is most likely to win?
I think it's Uncle Ted just because of all the aspects of how many actual events he has won.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's a strong candidate to win this. In all the alliances he was in, you know, he's going to have a lot of votes too from the council.
That's what I'm thinking too. I mean, Scott, if Uncle Ted or Zach wasn't in the final 3, Scott could have won it. But I don't think he made enough moves or enough strong friendships to.
Or he just made enough friendships.
Yeah, he may have made just enough. Glad.
We were calling the mayor. We haven't stopped talking about him since episode 1.
He might make fan favorite. I don't know. Geddy has no fucking chance.
Yeah, I don't even know what he's doing there.
Geddy is the GOAT. I'm so glad that there's a GOAT in this final 3 because that's such a Survivor thing to do.
Right.
And normally they'll have a chance to address the jury and talk about why they deserve to be the sole survivor. And oftentimes the GOAT will say things and you can see the jurors go, "Oh, what is this guy talking about? You did nothing." And each jury member gets to ask a different question of the different things. And sometimes they'll be like, "Why did you betray me during this one thing? What kind of move was that?"
Oh, sure.
So there will be a lot of times, and especially in this season of the Philippines, this was a butthurt jury. And the final 2 were just so bombarded by the hatred from the jury members. It was a brutal jury. They were pissed off about losing. So I don't know if that's going to happen with this one. But we're at the reunion. We're in Los Angeles. We're out of the Philippines. Everybody's gotten to go home, and we've watched the episodes aired. And now we're into the live reunion show, talking about why did Dave Mustaine piss in Lars's soup or whatever. Everybody gets a chance to shine, and we have the final 3. And we're going to go into the tally the votes for the final sole survivor. The first vote, Uncle Ted. 1 vote, Uncle Ted. The second vote, Geddy Lee. 1 vote to Geddy.
That was Scott Travis.
The third vote goes to Scott Ian. So Well, one vote apiece. The fourth vote goes to Geddy Lee. That's 2 votes Geddy. The fifth vote goes to Scott Ian. 2 votes Scott. The sixth vote goes to Scott Ian. That's 3 votes Scott. The seventh vote and the winner of Survivor Hotter Than Hell is Scott Ian.
Whoa.
1 vote for Uncle Ted. Holy crap. I didn't see that coming.
No. See, he made enough friends. He's like the mayor.
I think Ted pissed off too many people with the favoritism in the...
so does it say who voted for who?
It does.
I'm going to say Scott Travis and Dave Grohl voted for Geddy Lee.
You were spot on. Those were the 2 that voted for Geddy Lee. That's hilarious. Those are the 2 that voted for Geddy Lee.
Yeah.
The Adrian voted for Uncle Ted.
Okay.
They must have bonded over fishing.
Yeah.
And then everybody else voted for Scott Ian. Scott Ian made enough friends to make it through to the end and become the sole survivor of Hotter Than Hell podcasts thing. And Joe Bottom also wins the fan favorite award. He was barely in the show.
That's funny.
God, that's so funny. Okay, so in terms of statistics, challenge wins, surprisingly, BB, Scott Ian was tied for most challenge wins, along with Zach Wilde. They both won 6 apiece. So Scott Ian was a challenge beast, but we just kept forgetting about it.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. I didn't see that coming. And then Ted only had 5 challenges that he won.
Oh, okay.
So Ted wasn't as much of a challenge beast as we thought he was, which is very interesting. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that is surprising, and I didn't think Scott Ian had that many.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It seemed like it always went back and forth between Zach and Uncle Ted.
Yeah.
You know, especially like in those middle episodes. Mm-hmm. But that is a surprise that he had the most.
Yeah. And he tied for most immunity wins with Zach Wilde at 3 apiece. And he also had the most reward wins along with Uncle Ted and Zach at 3. And in terms of votes received, so the person who received the most votes to get kicked out, who do you think it was?
It's
everybody
out of everybody.
Yeah, so it's like it's a person that was up for tribal council quite a bit,
right?
And got a lot of votes accumulated, but it took a while for them to get knocked out.
Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl came in 4th with 9 votes. In 3rd place was Ted Nugent with 10 votes.
Okay.
So people tried to get Uncle Ted out.
Oh.
Didn't quite work. 2nd place was Geddy Lee with 11. And in 1st place, number 1 with the bullet, with 13 votes, John Bonham.
Ooh.
And in terms of most strategic, we have I don't know how they average this, but Eddie Van Halen apparently was the most strategic person in the thing. Scott Travis at number 2, well deserved for that idol play. That was an amazing play, saving, who did he save? Geddy, right?
Yes. It was either Geddy or David Grohl.
I think it was Geddy.
Okay.
I think it was Geddy because, it was Geddy. It was Geddy. Which, that's crazy. That was
And look, he was all the way to the end.
Made it to the end. And
when he should have been out in episodes 5.
Yeah, and Scott voted for him. You know, that friendship is so pure for me. Like, I loved from the beginning to the end. Right. They stuck together. Didn't win them anything. But, you know, it's great. What are some of your favorite moments here, BB?
I actually, loved a bunch of them. I love all these like alliances, how they kind of start and then they split and then somebody fights with somebody. Like Axl was in one and then he started another one and he got out. Like how like it's almost like a game of like chess, how everybody kind of like goes back and forth. And of course I still think everybody's highlight will always be the Scott Travis using the immunity for Geddy Lee, and we all said that was probably the best move of the whole game.
Yeah, I think that I would have voted him for fan favorite from that move alone.
Just for that, yeah.
I don't know why Joe Bottom also was fan favorite. I mean, he's a cool guy. I like him, but, that's something else. I know that you didn't make it to the final 3, but do you still feel good about the people that you picked, even though you didn't know you were going into a Survivor competition?
Right. And that's one of those things, like you look at these guys like, yeah, I mean, maybe Uncle Ted, he's probably the most, probably the biggest out of the 18 that would probably survive on his own.
Yeah.
He's the most person who would be outdoorsy. It's funny how it just randomizes, the guys, especially when a couple of times when they said Blackie Lawless got up and quit.
Yeah. Very Blackie
and how what a life story that is, because that has happened several times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it works. Mine worked well. It's just, just that, like, who do you think of a musician would work well on a deserted island? And besides Uncle Ted, there's not many people you're picking. You know what I mean?
A lot of it has to definitely be a social aspect more than like physical aspect.
Yeah.
Because Uncle Ted's got the hunting stuff down pat, and probably could survive if he was stranded on a desert island. But it's interesting to see what people would have done, because we, like you were saying with Blackie, that's something Blackie absolutely would have done. And seeing how, like, if we could place what we know about them onto this simulation and seeing how well it works. And I think it works for the most part pretty well. I will say that the winner of the first simulation that I tried was Uncle Ted, which I thought was crazy that he ended up winning, like, without telling anybody, like, the program, like, anything about him other than that Ted Nugent. Yeah. So, like, it was kind of a pure random chance that he won, but it still worked well that he won, and it makes a lot of sense. And he made it to the final three in this one.
Yeah.
So it's just insane that, even knowing what we know about these people, it still fit pretty well. Mm-hmm. Like Getty being the goat and Scotty and kind of being very friendly with everybody. Like, that kind of works with what we know about, the individuals.
About their personality, sure.
So, any final thoughts, BB?
No, this was great. This is one of those, I like to call this like an in-house vacation. We just throw, 6 guys at the simulation, and, we just talk about it. Like, this is great. You don't have to do prep or, listen to 5 or 4 albums or make a playlist and listen to songs you don't like. This was a great little in-house vacation. It was really, really cool. And I never knew there was anything like that out there.
Yeah. BrantSteel.com. Fantastic. You could do Hunger Games that has Big Brother, a couple of other different shows that you could simulate, and it's really cool just seeing it all happen. I was going to do Hunger Games, but I figured you guys knew Survivor better than Hunger Games.
Right.
So I did that. And actually, I got the idea to do it, to do a blank Survivor from this podcast I listened to called Dead Meat that does horror movies, and they did a horror movie character Survivor. So they had, like Ghostface from Scream, and Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees kind of compete against each other.
That is so cool.
So I listened to that podcast. I'm like, I think there could be something there for heavy metal people.
Right.
And, like, could you imagine, like, James Hetfield or Ozzy Osbourne, like, how they would do on the island? Like, the stories you could come up with that. So I think that this went better than I thought it was going to go. I was very concerned that we wouldn't have much to talk about, but we ended up coming up with some pretty good stuff, I thought.
Yeah.
In terms of a playlist, I'm sure I'll come up with something, maybe a song from each of the people. You got 18 songs there. But if you like this concept, everybody, let us know. We can definitely do more with different musicians. We have so many different personalities and people that I think would really work well. We can even do it with real life. We can do it with, like, podcast people, so we could have us and, like, the Shout It Out Loud guys.
Sure, that would be hilarious.
Sonny and Steven,
oh my gosh.
And, something like that. That might be fun to see how that goes.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be fun getting BC in on it. Lizzie Borden being on the island.
Lizzie Borden probably would have won it if BC was here.
And then that way we can do 2 starting tribes, and we can have the Killer Bees versus the Wright boys.
Sure,
so,
exactly.
We can see how that goes, but lots of possibilities if people end up liking this. So definitely let us know what you thought of this episode and who you were hoping would win and be the sole survivor. If you were rooting for Axl Rose to Boston Rob his way to the end, or if you thought that Dio was gonna keep out of sight with his short stature and blitz his way. God, that idol play was horrible, Dio. I'm so sorry. It was so bad. So was Scott Ian. I'm surprised Scott won after having that bad idol play. But, that's... What can you do? Thank you, everybody, for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. The tribe has spoken, and until next time, we will see you next time. And there definitely will be a next time.